I'll keep going till my speakers can't blow. I'll keep going till my speakers can't blow. I'll keep going till my speakers can't blow. I'll keep going till my till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. 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 Till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of on my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God ride and just roll the dice. Pacino.
The road to the top is a riddle.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
Welcome back, friends. We are here and we are ready for more ESL Challenger League action. We're hopping over to South America coming in now. And Matt, it feels like home, doesn't it? Yeah, honestly, I quite like this format change. I think it's a hell of a lot better, and I think it makes that prospect of those regional finals to come are pretty exciting as well. So, yeah, I've been keeping a very close eye on it, Matt, covering actually like watching some of the EU games, even the ones I'm maybe not covering myself on an ESL stream, watching Simple on BC Game, playing every single one, of course. Lots of entertaining matches coming from that, and it's very fun indeed. But tonight we're in South America and we're covering Yawara versus BESTIA. And it'll be interesting to see how it pans out, of course, because honestly, I genuinely think that BESTIA are on a little bit of an upturn right now. I'm maybe not entirely sure where their pathway has been going in recent times. It's been a bit frustrating to me to see a team that has quite a lot of talent on it kind of look very underwhelming, but they are improving and they are starting to beat a lot of the teams that are their rivals domestically.
Yeah, I mean, obviously after the debacle at the end of, not qualifying for not getting to go to the major because of logistical issues, that just certainly did put them back a couple paces. I was even wondering if the team might just implode off the back of that. I was quite concerned that it might just have a really adverse effect on the roster, but they were able to kind of put that behind them and keep moving forward. Then, like you say, the results were shaky, but it does feel like things are kind of trending back in the right direction for BESTIA. Like you say, beating their regional rivals, beating almost all the teams in the tier 2 level in South America, including a win over 9Z as well a couple weeks ago. The regulars like Fluxo, Red Canids as well, teams that they've beaten consistently. So they've certainly had that return to form.
They have indeed, and there is a man that is a reason for that, and so often is a reason for that on BESTIA. Thomasin. I mean, this guy has been doing it on this particular roster for a very, very long time now, and there's a reason why there's been calls for him to maybe get an upgrade to a team like an MIBR, for example, any team that is a slight tier up from where BESTIA are currently at. But look, he stayed put. Fair play to him. He's only 21. He's got time in his career to make the right call when the probably in his eyes the right organization comes calling to him. Been on BESTIA now for over 2 years and still performing to a fantastic level, and there's a reason why when you watch a BESTIA match, he is the pride of Argentina and often the man to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean, he's also only 21 years old, so he's still got the lion's share of his career ahead of him, and he's already got a pretty good thing going for him here in BESTIA with the way that they've grown and developed over the past few years. They've made quite a few changes. One of the most notable changes they've made over the past 2 years is actually moving Nocte away from the AWP. They've brought Cassin into the mix, and it means that Nocte can now just focus on his calling, right? Whereas before, his AWPing was actually quite a big handicap for the team, so now he's been relieved of those duties, and they brought Cassin into the mix, who's actually a really good AWPer, so I'm certainly looking forward to seeing him in the mix. Obviously, we've highlighted now one of the players for BESTIA, but someone that I'd like to highlight for Yawara would actually be Mr. Nades. This guy is by far and away their best player. He's got an incredible skill set. He's one of those really fun AWPers to watch. He's very flicky, lightning quick reflexes, and just super entertaining.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think it's really important to touch on as well that Brazil are pretty light on upcoming AWPers right now. I think Levi on 9Z is something to talk about. They had a pretty dream run to qualify for the Thunderpick World Championship when it looked like they were a massive underdog in that qualifier. And Levi was really good. And of course, Nades from Brazil as well. You got NQZ. That Henny's benched, Fallen's not AWPing anymore. Like, there's not actually many coming up to really fly the flag for the Brazilian AWPers. So
yeah, true.
I'm really happy to see a couple of these players coming through. I think it's a really important thing to mention for the Brazilian and South American scene as a whole. We have the Veto in front of our eyes right now. Mirage, Nuke, and Ancient will be our Veto. And of course, Matt, these guys played against each other the other day, and BESTIA will want some revenge.
They'll certainly be in pursuit of revenge, because this is the match that matters more so than the previous, right? That was the upper bracket game between them. I think it was the second round of the upper bracket, and so sure, losing that sucked, but you still had a life on the line. That's no longer the case here in the lower bracket. And yeah, we got Mirage, Nuke, Ancient last time. We've got the exact same map pool this time round, Trav. And I'm backing BESTIA to get the revenge done. I mean, first of all, Mirage is normally quite a good map for them. They got destroyed by Yawara last time. I don't think that's going to happen here again. I'm sure Nox has been scrounging through the demos, finding kind of what went wrong and looking to remedy those problems here. And then also on Ancient last time, Trav, they were up 11-1 on the half on their CT side. They lost the map in overtime. Like, surely surely that's not replicable, right? Like, I'm still thinking, despite the loss a week ago, I think that Bestia should be able to get the job done. However, we're going to have a little bit of a break, and then we're going to jump into the action.
This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like a takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. Feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh.
Hopefully not too long before we get underway in this one, and what I'm actually looking forward to for sure, because it just being a rematch from just a few days ago. You mentioned, Matt, that Noxe is going to be really hard at the grindstone, looking for the gaps to exploit. He does feel like, to me, one of those in-game leaders that will do that for as many games as he possibly can, right? So I'm really looking forward to seeing if Bestia can get one back over Yawara here, because I do think overall they should have the ability to win this series 2-0.
Yeah, I have the exact same sort of line of thought coming into this one. Let's see if they can find that revenge, or can Yawara absolutely legitimize their wins over Bestia? Because if they do it again here, then you can't take anything away from them. I mean, already impressive in itself. They got the victory last time, but now lives are on the line for both of these teams, and Yawara look to try and split in towards the say bomb site.
Noxe's got an HE. That could be pretty meaty, and there we go. Revolt's down to 38 before he can even make his way out of ramp. Luchov will get his one, but it's a great kill from Telly D. Unfortunately, it's going to be only 2 kills they get in the round. Luchov holds on brilliantly, and that is a very clean start with 3 on those dualies.
There's something about pro players and Julies, and then there's a few pro players in particular who just make the Julies look like a completely different beast altogether. I often cast like 2 best of 3s in a day, and I'm a madman like this. I'll just load up Counter-Strike afterwards and play some games with my friends. I'll buy the Julies and the pistol because I just watch them get abused all day. and they're just like, they're so different. They're so difficult. They don't reset nearly as quickly. The headshots aren't nearly as crisp, but I don't know, man. These guys are completely different gravy altogether.
It's weird, isn't it? Because it does, a bit like the 5.7 when you spam it, it does have recoil that you have to control. So, yeah, I've been getting slightly better with them lately, but overall, I'll never be, as good with those dualies as some of these guys. That's for sure. It's pretty crazy.
So surgical, some of them, right?
Very true. I haven't had a chance to talk to you since the big update the other day. Thoughts on the grenade sounds? I actually really like the sound of like the firework whoosh of the incendiary and the Molotov flying through the air.
Yeah, that's a cool effect, right? I think that is cool as well. I actually haven't noticed much of it myself, to be honest with you, so I can't really come up with much of an answer. I've actually been casting games, I just didn't clock it, so I'll have to pay some closer attention here, Trav.
Okay. There's little clicks of the...
I noticed that one.
Gold and stuff like that. Telly D with a great 1 dig, by the way, in this round. This is a full eco, other than that 1 deagle. So you'd think this round should be cleaned up okay, but there we go. The plant being given up and 1 kill is maybe a little bit annoying for Bestia, but winning the round is all that matters, and they will get themselves all the kills, survive with 4 alive, Luchov the only one to get caught.
Yeah, I look at this game for Yawara, and sure, Nades is the man of this team, but he's going to need more than they're going to need more than just Nades popping off if they are going to be able to beat Bestia. I mean, Thomason, Casson, and Luchov, that core, that trio of 3, super strong players across the board. They haven't even mentioned Timo's name. 1.08 rating over the past 3 months, so he's also playing some good Counter-Strike. So it can't just be the Nades show. We're going to need some big rounds from Zhao and Teledi on the rifles. Lacerda has been concerning. Trav, quite a low rating out of him. He is only 17 years old, by the way. This is his first professional team, so he's still in the infancy of his career. I'd like to see some moments from him today.
Yeah, fair enough. I think Teledi, last couple of times I've covered him playing as well, he has been very underwhelming. And yeah, he had a good start to this game, so I'm looking forward to seeing if he can improve. Noxe on the rifle, of course. You mentioned how he's given up the AWP in-game leading role these days and just sticking with the rifle IGLing. And that has really hurt his individual level as well, but it hasn't really hurt their results lately in Tier 2 South America. Only really losing one important game, and that was to Sharks in the CCT final. Luchov will manage to get LED as well. 5v3 early.
Got some things to say about that Nocte or point. Might have to just save it for the end of the round, though. 3 versus 5. 3 remaining players for Yawara are super isolated. Bombs towards top mid. So if this connector player, Nades, goes down, then the round's just really difficult to recover. As if it isn't already, certainly will be now with Revolts losing his life. That's a clean shot out of Nades. Lacerda has to uphold his end of the bargain, but he's lost his head. And with that, should be any chance in the round here for Yawara. Nades probably going to roll the dice, see if he can take anybody to the grave with him, but shouldn't be any way to win the round.
Yeah, and gets swung in an inopportune moment by Timo. Quick double headshot there. And go on, Matt, tell me about your Noxe theory.
So I agree with you that it definitely has impacted his individual level. I think the net impact on the team at large, though, is definitely still a positive. Because let's say his rating goes down by 0.1, because he was around like that 1.0 rating, probably now like 0.9 kind of player. But Casson's dropping 1.1s to 1.2s. So you're getting a 0.2 to 0.3 increase and a 0.1, you're losing 0.1 out of Nocte. It's still a net positive for the team at large. So I think it was a necessary change to keep Bestia competitive. I like they made that decision.
I think that's pretty valid, yeah. I don't disagree with that. I mean, people might ask, how long is Noxe going to go on for? Like, is he going to continue to rifle in-game lead for this long? I mean, he's been on Bestia since February 2023. Before that, spent 6 years on Isurus. So he's...
Has Zhao realized?
I was going to say, like, I think they have no idea, but...
Yeah.
I think Timo's going to be able to hold on with dealing with Telly D, and there's no real risk in the end. I was kind of just not convinced it was going to be a real threat, but it was a bit spooky for a second. And there are 2 players here on 12 and 13 HP. Thomason is still stuck in those apartments, and they know about it, but it's been tagged down so low. Nada's 1 bullet from death. Thomason needs to connect, though. Oh, my goodness. A bit spookier than it probably should have been. And Casson will go down to Lacerda. This is decent damage from Lacerda. He'll be happy with this.
I was going to say, may even be able to get one more. Sorry for interrupting you there, Trav. I was actually just watching that. I was grimacing, like pulling a face, like, oh my God, is Zhao? Because Zhao almost, it felt like Zhao had kind of clocked that he couldn't go into the corner because he walked back out like, hang on, let me try that again. And then again, he tries again, and again he walks into Thomason. I mean, I'm wondering, is he not clocking that he isn't walking? You could see he realized something was going on. Okay, I mean, at least it doesn't unravel for Bestia. A couple casualties is worth celebrating for Yawara on their eco. But I'm pretty sure Bestia have now equaled their tally of rounds that they got against the team of Mirage last time. Yeah, it was 13-4 that Yawara won. So Bestia already managing that in the first 4. That's concerning for Yawara.
And in the quickest possible fashion as well. 4-0 start. And yeah, shout out production as well for showing us a replay of exactly how... that Zhao Thomason situation went down. And don't worry about interrupting me, because that was an important moment. I was just reading the history of Noxe. my notes.
I know, but you're such a good friend of mine. I feel so rude and awful, and my mother raised me better than that, so...
Fair enough.
Either way, jokes aside, this is an important round here for Yawara. AWP in play, rifles across the board. Early days yet, but it is a good start from BESTIA. Casson going to set himself up with the AWP here, post on the line. And it's a bit of a default coming through from the T side. Flash misses the mark. Thankfully, Luchov isn't punished.
Yeah, and they actually kind of just handshake the exchange of damage. Luchov only getting one bullet from Revolts and one bullet in return through the corner of the wall. Flash catching the corner of ramp, making it ineffective. Casson rotating off B now. He was on the angle toward the apartments, but he's happy just to leave one player there in Thomasin at the moment. And Noxie is wanting to go for a reface in toward middle. He's not going to see a single thing, but it could be bad info.
Yeah, false info, right? Because there's the player behind the boxes. There's one lowers. I actually heard Nocta rotate out of snipers in towards this B bomb site. So I'm quite surprised to see that Yawara are still looking to try and finish this round over towards B. Well, as I say that, Timo is now going to depart the scene. A lot of moving and shaking here in the round. Casson now finds himself in CT. He's also been all over the map. Yawara got to make this one work.
Good position for Noxe, boosted up on site. I mean, that might go uncleared and he gets a free 1-for-1, but now he needs more than the 1-for-1 because Jiao has dealt with Thomasin and Noxe does get cleared properly. And well played, Yawara. They managed to swarm it together. I mean, you could argue that it's down to BESTIA missing their duels, but at the end of the day, Yawara checked the site properly and cleared every angle they should.
Yeah, it's the problem with the position that Nocta was in there, is if you do kind of get cleared or there's a glance in that direction, they spot you way before you can see them, and then it's really awkward and uncomfortable at that point when you're almost trapped, so... Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for him on this occasion. Yawara going to get themselves on the board. Nice push coming through from... was it Jiao initially, I think? Coming through from Catwalk, hard clearing Thomasin, gets that kill, really just throws the round into disrepute for BESTIA.
An important way to get started as well with all 5 players alive in your all-important gun round. The rounds have been vaguely close on a couple of occasions as well, but there's no real worry about the BESTIA money just yet, so a little while to go. Maybe one more buy. I mean, Noxe actually going to put out the secondary AWP here while he can. Fair play. That's one thing that, of course, kind of they have in common with Furia, for example, right? I mean, they've got a new AWPer, but they can still bring the old guard back onto the sniper when they feel like it's necessary, and it can occasionally be an excellent factor for them.
I think it was around pretty similar timelines as well that they made the change like five months ago. I think BESTIA's might have been just before Furia. Certainly some similarities there, though. The old hats making way for the young sharp guns.
Yeah. And it makes it feel all the more special when the likes of Noxe, and in particular when watching Furia, that Fallen just picks up the AWP off the ground and then pops off and gets 3 kills. It's like, yeah, I've still got it, lads. Don't you worry. I can step up when needed.
Yeah, best believe whenever there's money for the second AWP to be invested into, both Nocta and Fallen are going to be chomping at the bit, right?
Yeah.
I guess Cadian was also one of the first guys to kind of give up the AWP to somebody maybe a little bit more deserving. When he joined Astralis, of course, he took on that rifle role.
Yeah.
Anyways, there certainly have been a few examples in the past sort of 12 months.
I think it's fair to say that those two, or these two, Fallen and BESTIA, have worked pretty okay, and the Astralis one didn't. 40 seconds left in this round. Still a 5v5, but the bomb is preparing a push toward the apartments. A proper B split coming through, but they're just going to get completely snookered by Thomasin. There's no way through that one. And there's so much damage taken from Con and the A-bomb site when they were trying to force their way through Catwalk into short, that there was just no way they were making that play work, Yawara.
Yeah, that's the contrast compared to what we got out of the previous round where Yawara were able to make their way up Cat unscathed and then find the opening kill successfully on the B-bomb site. Nice position there from Thomason. Gets the kill on Lacerda, and the second player coming through was just kind of trusting Lacerda to clear the corner, and he did, but he just lost the duel. And then Thomason gets that second frag for free. When your B anchor is 8 for 1, you know you're living La Vida Loca at that point. Oh, Nocta gonna break the smoke. Might cost him his life. It does. Jumps up on top of that little piece of wood in the corner there, so he's not able to fall back to safety, and Tele-D snaps him right up.
An important one to nab. Especially after you've won your first round of the game. If you're to lose the one immediately after, which they did, it's very frustrating. But you can hit straight back and make it more of a back and forth. That will favour the T-Money in time. Looks like Timo wants to go for a reface with Luchov in window. With being in a 4v5, usually you will go for a plan somewhat like this, but actually Luchov was left alone to go for his recovery kill, but doesn't matter, he'll find it anyway. Tele-D burnt out of the bench position, and then that's when Timo will help out. That's a well-played recovery, sees the edge of the Palace player, and bye-bye Revolts. Instant headshot on Lacerda as well. Timo's having a great round, and even though Nardes hits a lovely Nosk, there's no more he can do.
It's a lovely Nosk. What's a Nosk, Trav?
No scope.
Oh, okay. Come on, you've been spending too much time around the youngsters. Nosk. This Zuma lingo, just contracting every word in existence. This moment shot from Luchov was a really big moment in the round, because not only does he get the kill, he drops the molly that, as you highlight, forces Tele-D into Timo, and then some sharp shooting from him. That kill on the Palace player was beautiful. Really good kills out of him. 9 and 4 for Timo, racing to that finish line right now. Our Bestia nearly halfway there. And that after Yawara get the opening kill.
Very true. That's just something that I feel like players who have been playing together for such a long time, i.e. the core of this particular edition of Bestia, Noxe, Luchov, Thomason, they'll just know what maneuvers to make whenever they're a man down, whenever they're not. And they're just knowing how to reface middle, trying to make that sort of collection of mini plays happen to recover that opening kill and then eventually just swarm them. Shows what they've got in their locker. Cassim playing from CT though will get hard cleared by Tele-D in a combination of that Nardes flash. They are swarming the A-bomb site here, are Yawara, and I do think they have the advantage now. They've forced Thomason back in towards CT. The bomb should go down soon.
Yeah, this is actually looking more than vaguely doable right now. Thomason doesn't have any teammates to support him in CT either to try and set him up with the flash, so it's going to have to come through from jungle here as far as the engine work for the retake is concerned. And they are actually able to edge their way quite far forward without taking any contact. Luchov will activate. Thomason pushes forward off the back of that. He's only good for the one, but he spotted out 2 more. That's a healthy amount of info. His teammates left in the clutch. Smoke dropped on the bomb. Timo to try and provide the cover. And that's exactly what he's going to do. In fact, he lost his teammate in the process. I didn't even know that Luchov had gone down, but it doesn't matter when Timo's still alive.
That's crazy. I mean, they kind of did have to push through the smoke to find out if there was a player on the defuse or not, if they'd got the player who was the diffuser or not. I'm not sure if the communication would have been entirely on point when it comes to that, but look at the beginnings of this retake. I mean, it's pretty wild. You've got 3 players locked behind that CT smoke, and you've got 2 CTs walking from jungle to triple. That's a very unusual pathing, I feel like, for that retake to go down. But Bestia once again find a way in the midst of the madness.
Yeah, that's actually just, I think, what's really impressive about some of these rounds that they've won is how they haven't always had it kind of gifted to them. This is going to be them taking initiative even after losing Thomason towards Catwalk. They continue to commit to the cause and they're going to walk away with the man advantage. Oh, but kind of given back up by Timo, not expecting Nardes posted on the angle. Orpa able to get an important frag back.
Yeah, that actually keeps them alive in this particular round. Cassin will retake up that position on short. It was lost by Timo. And you'll see nothing. So that might be good information, especially as I've got a second player in connector to double check under and check the bench position. So they can just focus all their attention on the sites themselves here rather than worry about middle. And Caston has some good defensive utility still available to him to keep all three of these Yawara players at bay.
Not going to connect on the first shot, though, nor the second. This is where it becomes a problem. They're able to make their way out of the apartments. And he finds himself in a lot of trouble. Luchov, the first responder, will at least be able to drop the AWP at range and then knows both these remaining players are committed to the bomb site. Oh, crosshair was perfectly placed. Instant headshot, but AK trumps the M4. And it's Nocte left alone in the clutch. And he's got a really good chance of making this one happen. So much damage has been inflicted right now. He's got the full mag of the A4 at his disposal as well. They're just toying with him. They don't want to give him the direct fights right now. Nocte does have a kit, and he's gotten the frag. He knows that last player's in towards the van. Does Lacerda want to try and force the fights? I think he has to take it on his own terms. He tries, but Nocte comes out on top.
All the experience in the world there from Noxe. 14 HP on both of them is nowhere near enough when you need one bullet on both. I mean, it's so difficult for Yawara in positions like those, right? Like, how do you reposition? You can't. How do you fight? You can't. When you're forced into a fight, you lose it. There's kind of no way out of that, especially when Noxe has a defuse kit. He has all the cards, and he was allowed to play them. It was an easy pair for Noxe, and yeah, I mean, even Noxe, I mean, he was being extra careful about it as well because he knew he just had it all under lock and key, all in his control. He even tried to fake the footsteps multiple times when he was kind of sort of split-stepping toward Van as such to try and force a peek, knowing that he could make them feel uncomfortable. But he was one who had to force it in the end and got the one bullet required.
This is one of those score lines where it reads super dominantly, but it's actually been a lot more one-sided than what 8-1 suggests. We've had a number of clutches won here, a number of the rounds going quite deep, getting really close, that have just almost always gone Bestia's way. There's only 2 rounds left in the half here. Make that 3 rather, but still. Yawara are running out of time to make something happen. Big opportunity over on the B-bomb side here. Nobody directly on the site itself. You've got Thomason who's kind of watching at range. He's towards Cat, kind of going back and forth. Re-smoke well timed.
Yeah, it's okay. And actually, it just about works out to keep them at bay toward the apartments. And Noxe did go for his peeking window. That's pretty impressive. And Timo will be able to find Lacerda as well. It's all just falling into place. And it's a bit of a weird matchup between these two in a way, isn't it? I mean, the scorelines we saw in their first duel the other day, 13-4 for Yawara on Mirage. Bestia now doing what feels like it's going to be the direct opposite result. And that Ancient going 11-1, 11-1 before Yawara winning it 16-14. Like, there's been a lot of one-sided halves between these two.
Yeah, Yawara are going to be hoping for something similar here again. And it's exactly what they're going to need. It's an eco round coming through for the T side as well. Teledi and Zhao have spent their money. As I said, Teledi's made his way back to spawn to sell his guns, maybe overinvested. Can't really go for 2 hero guns in this sort of a round. Zhao has his Galil top middle already taking damage to utility. But Bestia must be massively annoyed that that Ancient slipped through their fingers, Trav, after having had that 11-1 half and then losing the map in OT. You know that that's certainly going to make sure that they come into this with a different attitude, right?
Yeah, maybe renewed vigor. They wouldn't be like disappointed or disheartened. They'd be angry, and angry in a good way.
Exactly, yeah.
It'd be maybe a bit angry in a bad way about this round, though, because they're getting overrun by the pistols somewhat. And now Noxe's tagged down to 16. It might have to be Thomason. He knows there's 2 towards CT, and that's the bomb, by the way. They had not got that planted yet. Sees the AWP of Nades. Now he just has to worry about where Zhao is. Hiding in Sandwich at the moment. He's choosing to retreat and play it with Noxe. Actually, maybe looking to split up Thomason can now go back CT, and Noxe can come in late. Maybe sell a bit of a fake with the footsteps on 16 to activate his star rifler here in Thomason. There you go, selling the fake now, and it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. 2 bites at the cherry for Thomason, but he still finishes off Nardes, and now poor old Zhao is in a very difficult position. Should find one, but can he find the second? Tap on the bomb. It's not a tap, it's going to be a hold. Surely not, Thomason. There's so many bullets in the Galil for Zhao, but that just shows you how much confidence Thomason has. Oh my goodness, he will go down in the end, but it doesn't matter. It's 10-1.
It's crazy that he just immediately goes for that option as well, because he knows Zhao's towards default. He's also having a blinder of a game as Thomason, so I'm thinking he's just going to back his aim to try and finish off the job, but it worked out perfectly for him to just immediately jump on that defuse. Perfectly played between Thomason and Nocta to get the team up to double digits. Another unfavorable situation, a less than desirable situation here for Bestia. How many of these can they make work, Trav? I mean, evidently, all of them.
I mean, I think they're just making the right moves and making the right calls as a team or as an individual in every single one of them, right? That they are playing to win the round from behind rather than just it falling into their lap. Pretty...
Hassan has been the one guy that's looked a little bit shaky on the AWP though, right?
I agree. Maybe not hitting a couple of shots that he so should.
Slow down, boys. They've over-rotated here. Massively over-rotated. Smoke stairs, smoke jungle. Pulled the entirety of Bestia over towards that A-bomb site. Surely this is going to be Yawara doubling up their round count on Mirage.
Actually, a really good call from Yawara. Like, it's definitely a change-up. It's a simple change-up. A fake with 2 smokes toward A and then go B quick. But they got the pathing right at the right time as well. Bestia now in a 5v5 retake. And one obviously they're going to have to go for because it is the end of the half. Zhao will find one. Thomason will get his though, and it's a great check on the flank from Nardes. Lacerda will find Noxe, and they're dealing with this one pretty okay. It's a great kill from Revolt. Cassin! He's got 2 players on his screen at the same time. That's always very awkward. And it's a dominant half from Bestia, but at least something for Yawara at the end.
After a dominant half, Bestia find themselves double digits. Fantastic work coming through from them on their CT side, getting 10 out of the 12 rounds afforded to them. Not much work required just to finish off the job, but we've seen them spill stronger leads, Trav, so surely this time they're going to have to lock it in.
Yeah, I think they're going to be fine this time, but I've said that before. Nades playing in towards Sam, which actually manages to stay alive because he's been saved by his teammates. Revolts with 3 kills, and he manages to get one of his own as well with 1 health to spare. Let's go for a pretty simple A push and get completely munched up.
It's happening.
Is it?
It's happening, Trav. Yep, history's repeating itself. This is going to OT. Yawara might even win it in regulation, you know.
Okay. If it does, you get a free item for my wardrobe.
Oh, ooh, I know what I want.
What do you want?
Those little tidy-whities of yours.
They're not white, actually. They're black, but...
I'll sell those on eBay, man. I'll make a pretty penny. Trav's DS's tighty blackies, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, they're navy as well. I have navy.
Oh, it's got variation. I don't really own any myself, Trav. I think it's good for men's health to not restrict their little boys.
Understood. I know you have strong beliefs about that. So
yeah. Weird ones. Here we go. It's a force buy from Bestia, looking to try and answer back after losing the pistol without getting a single kill. Revolts this time in towards Sandwich, is going to get burnt to a crisp. That's some crispy cheese right there. Not revolting any further in this round. I will say they've done quite a lot of damage though, so it's not going to be the most difficult retake, and they've already found a kill to level the numbers out.
Yeah, there might have to be one more banger that needs to be hit here for Thomasin. 15-6 in the game. He's the man you'd want in this particular position, but yeah, only 53 health with that Deeg. Stuck on triple. I might expect him to still be on triple. That's what I'm thinking right now. They are walking past him. Tap on the bomb. That'll be the first swing. And Thomasin still hasn't been seen yet, but the bomb is being held. Good reaction. The Serta gets off it and instantly hits the headshot on Thomasin. That was definitely a risk there for Yawara, but they'll manage to scrape it over the line.
Only just. I mean, if Thomasin hits that shot, it's round over. It doesn't matter if he gets traded instantly or not. There was so little time left on the defuse once it actually comes through at the end there. Oh man, I wonder if Bestia are going to be compelled to go for another force buy here off the back of getting 3 kills in the bomb plant. Got a big lead. It's not normally a decision they would tend to make under the helm of Noxe. It's generally more of like a traditional conservative IGL in that regard. Certainly expect some upgraded pistols at the minimum though.
I do think here there are some teams that I'd watch in EU Tier 2 that would absolutely fully force after another plant and a decent amount.
Oh yeah, Favbet are one of them.
True,
Favbet
actually.
are certainly one of them. They were a team I've seen that do that a lot of lately.
That's a very good call, actually. I do remember that because I've seen Bondic on a CZ too much. I've got PTSD from it, so I know exactly what you're on about.
Yeah, they've all added Saltovsky to the roster recently, by the way, replacing Tension. And Favbet are looking hella legit off the back of that. There's a Hero AK here, by the way. Never mind. It's been recycled into Luchov's grasp. He doesn't have armor, though. Timo was the one guy who did have armor coming into the round. He had the gun dropped to him by Thomasin. So it's pretty much the only notable weapon to work with in the round, and it doesn't look like it's going to be able to get much done.
It is now in the hands of Thomasin, so that is something, but yeah, he's going to probably want to give that to a player with armor. He's actually dropped it.
Wait, he hasn't thrown it off the map, right? He's probably dropped it on the ground for Casson to pick up and spawn. Right, guys? Yeah, cool. It's gonna. I almost just went off the boil for a second there. All good, though.
Yeah, I'm going to say, if they throw it out the map and they've got 4 players alive, then...
And Casson has Kevlar? No, then we...
Yeah. It's like, we don't want the Yawara side to have the AK so badly that all 4 of us are not going to have it either.
Yeah, why'd you buy it in the first place then, right? That's where I was going to go with it. Anyway, I can calm down. I can breathe.
True.
All's well. Let's see if they can find something here. It's the Deagle that's going to poke and prod initially. Could try and set the AK up. Casson does get a kill. Oh man, they're just peppering him down though. Yeah, and he's going to go down pretty quickly soon afterwards. Zhao seals the deal, and Yawara doing exactly as was required of them coming into the second half, being down 10-2. Win the pistol, convert against the force, win the anti-eco. There's still another objective on the list, though, before they can afford to lose a round, and that's this gun round as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, the game is pretty CT-sided overall at the moment, since those extra changes came in with the economy and the $50 for each kill you get, right? I mean, that's just a small help for...
Light buff to the incendiary as well.
Yeah, it's definitely made a big difference, those small things combined. But BESTIA actually have a better win percent on their T side on Mirage, even though they are a bit of a CT-sided team in this particular matchup. But we'll see. Anyway, we're going for a bit of a play here, jumping in toward the B apartments.
Oh my.
B apartments, and the Serda cannot connect on Thomasin. That Mac 10 gets the opening kill, which is really frustrating to lose a rifle in that way. Revolt's having to nade bench, but it won't reach Timo. A little bit of damage to Cassin at least. And Thomasin still playing close with the Mac 10, could do some work, but Telly D has played near that smoke on Cat to good effect. Aware of the possibility of another player creeping on him as well. It's a great check toward Cassin's position. Noxeda is now in a 1v3, playing the headshot angle, vaguely doable, still 96 health. They're not holding this defuse yet either. Revolts will now stick to it, but a chance for a lineup, and Noxe's got him off it, but Revolts will recover. Oh my word. Great try from Noxe, but BESTIA still cannot get off and running on T sides.
Yeah, great attempt in the 1v4, bringing it down to the 1v1. I actually thought after he gets a kill on the player who isn't defusing, I was just watching the health bar of Revolts. I thought it was just going to whittle down rapidly, but Revolts is able to get off the defuse and find that trade. I think the smoke had bloomed just enough to kind of cover him and conceal him so that Noxe couldn't immediately transfer off the back of that third kill. All right, game on, Yawara. I mean, a bomb plant there for BESTIA coupled with all the kills means they're certainly going to be licking their lips coming into this next gun round, but Yawara are closing the gap. And I mean, that went well for BESTIA. The Mac 10 getting the opening kill, flooding into the B bomb site. Going to be a big tussle in towards middle here, though.
Zhao with the opening 2, and BESTIA just not finding any progress here on T side at all.
Great
Zhao
flash.
just faces for another, confident in the flashes from his teammates, as you so rightly say. Wow, we've got something serious going here.
I knew it was happening. This one's looking so easy, though. Just completely outmuscled BESTIA in towards middle. The CT side for Yawara is alive and well. They're thriving right now. Scoreline reads completely differently to how it did at the start of the half. It looked like it was game over coming into the second half, but been able to win the 5 opening rounds here. Going to make it 10-7. Probably a half investment to follow as well.
There's one person I think could 1v5. It's Thomasin, but it's not going to be happening. We've got 3 players to face in connector. 10-7, bit by bit. It's happening again. It's happened again.
Let's feel that way.
It's happened again. Not yet, but soon. According to Matt, anyway.
Yeah, I checked the script, Trav. I checked the script. I just wanted the spoiler like we check the veto sometimes. Same thing.
Understood.
Thomason's going to get a hero AK here, as he should. Max round loss bonus behind them means there's no reason not to. We still need more from Cassin. He's 5 for 11. Yet to get a kill in the second half. He hasn't really contributed in any meaningful way yet here on Mirage. Not in the way that we know he's capable of, that's for sure. Makes sense they'd call a pause here just to try and break this game up a little bit. Stem the flow. Get that tourniquet on.
Isn't it a tourniquet? Isn't that
tourniquet? Yeah, I guess you're right. That makes more sense. The T is silent, right? So
yeah, I mean, I'm not flaming you for your pronunciation.
No, sure. This is thinking aloud. That's all good.
I think
you're right now that you've said it, though.
Yeah.
I think it is spelt with a T at the end, though, right? Like, I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think you are right.
Silent one.
You are right.
Either way, BESTIA do need to stem the flow regardless because they're hemorrhaging at the moment. This is rapid.
Force the issue with the Mac 10. He got an entry toward B in one of those previous rounds like this, but stopped by Nades and a good hold from Zhao. 2 quick headshots. And They know, yeah, they absolutely do, that Luchov is last alive in Palace. Oh my goodness. Nice shot. Any more than that is unlikely though, and he will go down. Okay, this is worrying now for Bestia. We've been here, we've done that before for Yawara with these comebacks, and you wouldn't be human if you didn't start thinking about what has happened before, if you were Bestia right now.
Yeah, it would start to kind of creep back in the back of your mind, right? Oh, I like that. We've got the office.
Yeah.
Got the boys in the office get there.
I love that.
Sponges Dwight. Did I catch that correctly?
Yeah, I have watched a little bit of that. It's very good. It's quite funny.
But you're right, Trav. This is certainly reaching that concerning territory now for Bestia. Certainly so if they lose this round here, right? That's where you hit the panic button if you haven't already. And I kind of feel like Yawara's T-side actually looked better than what we got out of the first 6 rounds from Bestia. I think that Yawara looked more competitive. They were making more of the rounds that they were losing. Not much to celebrate for Bestia here so far, bar that one round that they bursted in towards that B bomb site. Outside of that, not much to highlight.
Oh my!
It's not looking much better here either. What a combo!
Jowl hit another quick headshot. He's really stepped on the gas since the switch to CT. 17 and 13 for him now. Multiple very swift headshots. Looking solid as a rock. Now leader in the server alongside Thomasin. Not this time though from Con, and Telly D getting baited in somewhat. They have no idea he's in toward ladder. And that's the bomb dropped in that position as well. He's just falling headshot Luchov. Okay, dude. Maybe it's going to be Yawara's day on this comeback. Cassin 1v2, 1v3 total, but Nardis is playing top ticket. Oh dear, the gap is now 1.
That's insane. The gap is only 1 round off the back of a 10-2 half for Bestia. Oh boy. At least there was a bit of resolve in that round. There was a little bit of a fight back coming through from Luchov, but again, it was still always them chasing the round. That kill ridiculous from Tele D while he's falling down. Like you said, the drop shot, headshot proves to be enough for them to get the kill onto that rampaging player. Now a half buy from Bestia. Still yet to win a round here in the second half. And you're bang on, Trav. Zhao's been incredible. Zhao's been so damn good on the CT side. Normally Nardez is the man, but Zhao is the star of the show right now, that's for sure. I feel like we've only seen 2 plays from Bestia. Either the big B burst or a mid take.
Yeah.
Surely they've got a deeper playbook than that.
Telly D with plenty of rifle support. There's going to be no way in for these Tech 9s. Very comfortable.
Flawless.
5 players alive as well. Oh my goodness, the money is going to be and is completely fine. Probably for the end of the game now. Last 3 rounds of regulation. They might not even need to play all these final rounds of regulation as well. Toothless.
I did say Yawara are winning this in regulation. And obviously I meant to completely in jest, but I can't believe that that's actually a reality at this point. My goodness, toothless is a great word to use. There has been nothing to show for from Bestia on this T side so far. Has to change here and now. Otherwise, the end of Mirage is nigh, and certainly not in the way that we would have expected. Thomasin trying to pressure in towards this B bomb site. Again, it's going to be emphasis towards middle, a bit more delayed this time though. One of the problems I feel like for Bestia is that the opening picks have just been far too easy for Yawara so far in the second half. So at least they've kind of been able to nullify that slightly here.
Yeah.
But it's not like they've gotten much ground in the process.
Now trying just to go for a bit more of a calculated play here, but 2 Palace, I mean, TD still in a very good position. Smoke Fade might not work out for him though, but still gets his 1-for-1. That's fine, considering where Revolts is. There is support from Jungle as well, from Zhao, and he's been so sharp in these last couple of rounds. Revolts will get his 1, makes it 2. They're just not able to trade their way in at all here, Bestia. They get the first, but that was a freebie. And the rotations now are going to be in. There's a con player pushing up on the flank. That's Timo. It's a great catch on Nades, actually. But 51 and 40 HP. It's going to have to be a crazy recovery, and Zhao will not let it happen. Oh my goodness, he's doing it again. 2 quick headshots with the A1S. Flawless CT half so far for Yawara.
Feels like Zhao's good for at least a kill, if not a multi, every single round here on their CT side so far. Great defense over on the safe bomb site. The 2 anchors pinging contact off of one another, both guaranteeing themselves a kill at the minimum. At least BESTIA were able to kind of look at the bomb site this time. More so than what they've been able to get done in most of the rounds so far. And they've gone all in, Trav. They're not too keen to play for overtime. They've spent all their money here, and they're going to set themselves up for a big execute into the same bomb site. But this is now dire territory for BESTIA. Here we go, smoke's raining on in. There is one player home, Nades, gonna be forced backwards, so there's a really good chance here for BESTIA.
Oh, the Mac-10 goes flying in for Luchov, but is not able to do enough damage. I mean, they put Revolts down to 10 HP. Might get down to the nade, but it should be too deep. No, it finds him.
It banked off of that little, like, missile stack there quite awkwardly. He wasn't intending it for it to land towards the bin, so quite fortunate to get that kill. Zhao continues to frag as he has, though, another multi. Not just the double, he adds a third to the tally as well. And he's not done with 3, he makes it 4. Ridiculous impact out of Zhao. Just ruling the roost right now.
How many frags does he have on CT? I mean, I'm going to have to check this when the game's over and maybe let you guys
I'll do it for you now quickly.
know.
I'll tally them up in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, we'll keeping close eyes on what his stats look like for good reason, because that was an incredible hold. I mean, again, he's got a long-range Mac-10 to beat. He's got a player low HP close to try and trade. It's the 3rd and the 4th kills, which are dirty.
16 kills, Trav. 16 kills in 10 rounds.
Ayo.
Now they've got 2 chances to finish off the job. I can't believe that this is happening right now. BESTIA are going to be kicking themselves. Can they perhaps force overtime, though? Maybe this is where they can finally break this losing streak and get around on the board. Nades hasn't had much to do throughout the half so far. 2 kills coming back from him. Turns us into a vaguely doable 2 versus 3.
That was actually, like, just amusing that it's taken... Oh, Cassin, please! Cassin, please! What's going on? Oh, my word. That was actually winnable for Nades. It's crazy that BESTIA just resorted to their rifle in-game leader, Noxe, running down middle.
Yeah.
And getting 2 random headshots, pretty much. I mean, that's
And he just do that again?
Yeah,
and that's the virtue of such a good first half out of BESTIA, is that they haven't won 1 round out of the first 10 in the second half. They win 1 round, and they're 1 round away from overtime. That is just, I guess, the benefit of having such a dominant first half. Goodness gracious. Saved by Trav's Law there are BESTIA.
True. It happens when you least suspect it as well. Could be 12-4, could be 12-10, could be 12-11. Can happen anytime.
Yeah, exactly. Evidently, it is just true in all cases. Can they do it again, though? I mean, like I said, it's not replicable. You can't expect Noxe to just do that again.
But one thing I think is quite fun to debate. I mentioned how earlier on Noxe is the kind of player who will probably do a lot of homework and will absolutely know the importance of this game and want to figure out what went wrong last time around on a map like Mirage, because they lost 13-4 in their first game against them the other day. It does make me wonder if, when you've got the talent on the team like Noxe has, can you overthink it and sometimes brute forcing it when you do arguably should have a firepower advantage could just work out for you with simpler plays? I mean, I think it's an argument.
Yeah, I feel like they've tried the brute force approach a couple times, though, in this half, and it hasn't really worked out for them either.
Yeah, fair enough.
And also to the point that you make about, him being that IGL who would go and study the tapes of what went wrong last time, he proved they did exactly that, because last time it was, I think, a 9-3 half. for them when they were on their CT side. So this time they got 10 out of the 12 on their CT side. They didn't really get to see Yawara's CT side last time, right? So there wasn't much for him to go back and study to prepare for this game this time round. So maybe that's also kind of what's gone on here. Overtime or bust. That is the equation right now. Yawara made light work of the first 10 rounds of the half. Had 2 chances to finish off the job, squandered the first. Smoke into snipers, smoke into the bottom of connector.
Oh, I just have a feeling that BESTIA are going to find a way here. I mean, there are 2 very quick rotations available for Yawara around the stairs position. Revolts gets his 1-for-1, but again, there's just no jungle smoke. Again, I mean, that is not the first time that's happened. Lucho has been able to, again, brute force a frag in return. 57 health, Fernandez gets his 1, but Telly D's there in con as well. It's down to the star, our player to watch, Thomasin, to win out this 1v2 for BESTIA. Good nade to soften him up, and it here will be taken by Telly D. Oh my word, only 1 round on that T side for BESTIA, and it was their in-game leader, Noxy, brute forcing it in mid. That is not a good look.
I just can't believe that they've let that 10-2 lead slip and they've actually lost the map. In regulation, it feels like it went by in the blink of an eye as well. It's like that was a 10 or 15 minute half. BESTIA just running at that brick wall, barely even able to make a dent. They did win 1 round, but that was it. Yawara, what have you guys just done? 13-11 on their opponent's map pick as well. Excuse me, it is Yawara's map. Okay, on Yawara's map, they've managed that insane comeback. At least for BESTIA, maybe that could be a bit of a saving grace that we go to their map of Nuke next.
Oh, mate, I mean, you can make all the arguments about how BESTIA's T side was completely toothless, but I'm going to give the credit to just how good Zhao was in that second half. I mean, every single time he got called into action when he was necessary, he delivered a multi, and it was often 3 or 4 as well. Just incredible recovery, and BESTIA will be so angry. They would have been angry last time they lost a big lead against Yawara. They'll be even more angry now. This is the all-important matchup, of course, in this lower bracket. If you lose, you're not going to have a chance to play for that cup, of course, that regional cup in South America. Very frustrating for them. They're going to have to bounce back very quickly. They do have Nuke next. It's a map they're very happy with, BESTIA, but even though it's a one that Yawara very, very rarely play, you still wonder what the mentality will be like for BESTIA going into it. We'll see if they can bounce back in a little bit.
going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my till my speaker tone. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. 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 Till my speaker come. I'll keep going till my speaker come blow. I'll keep going till my speaker come blow. I'll keep going till my speaker come blow. I'll keep going till my speaker come blow.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll, Lex account a blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
Incredible recovery from Yawara, and crazily, it's not something we haven't seen before. Unbelievable that BESTIA have chucked another big lead against their rivals in the ESL Challenger League Cup, number 2 in South America. I mean, it's a critical loss for them to take, but they do have a safe ground of Nuke where they should win, considering the reps of their opponents on the map.
We just don't know what we can trust anymore. But that's the problem. That's why you're a little bit, hesitant when you say should, right? Because of what's just happened on Mirage after having been up 10-2 and then losing the map 13-11. It's just about whether or not they've been able to appropriately reset between maps here, because what can happen is the emotional frustrations from that previous loss that you just had, where you should have won that game every day of the week, can maybe bleed into that following map if you haven't been able to reset and leave it at the door. And that is kind of my concern coming into Nuke here for BESTIA. But Nuke is one of Yawara's most banned maps, Trav. It's a map that they just avoid pretty frequently, right? They ban it 80% of the time. So surely all signs point in the direction for a rematch on Ancient.
Yeah, it really should. And BESTIA, it's one that I've watched them play in South America for a very, very long time, right? It's almost a safety pick for them. It's not one they have all the success on, but, played against 9Z, they played against Imperial, they played against Sharks, Odic, all the best you can think of in South America. So I'm expecting them to be a lot better. They have played it very recently. They played it yesterday against Odic, won it 13-10, but played it 2 days ago against Sharks, very close 16-14 loss. I think if the individuals, who I don't think necessarily went missing, by the way, on map 1, it was the tactics that went missing on the T side. Agreed. In map 1. It would take a big effort from the individuals who did show up on Yawara, like Zhao, to repeat that and really make a big turn up for the books happen here on Nuke.
I mentioned that we needed somebody else or a couple more players alongside Nades if they were going to stand any chance of Mirage, and Zhao went nuclear. I mean, honestly, some of the best Counter-Strike I've ever seen from him. He was unplayable in middle in the early stages of that second half. Just genuinely the boss of middle and connector in general, whether he was fighting mid or fighting on that A-bomb site. But they're going to need that form from him here again, right? The job isn't done off the back of winning Mirage alone. They came quite close on Nuke last time. It was a 13-9 victory for BESTIA on that occasion. They did go up 7-5 on their T side, so basically won the map on their T side on that occasion. So I wonder if Yawara are going to be able to tighten up a little bit this time round on Nuke. Yeah,
it makes you wonder as well, right? I mean, Zhao is... I can't take away how good that performance was from him in map 1. But, yeah, just to give you an example of what actually he managed to put forth for us on CT, 16-6, 1.99 rating in a crazy recovery. But at the same time, he's not a player that does that all too often. He's like, kind of your bog standard 1.02 rifler. Like, he doesn't do anything special too often. He's just a reliable pair of hands usually. So for him to pop off like that doesn't seem like it is replicable, really.
That is true. It definitely would be a complete and utter anomaly. I mean, the fact that he did that on Mirage was an anomaly. If he was able to do it throughout the series, would be almost unheard of. Unprecedented, if you will. Of course, this is the lower bracket semi-final, guys. Means the winner of the series goes through to the lower bracket final, where they're just a couple games away from securing themselves a spot in the South America finals a couple weeks from now.
Second map underway. It's BESTIA with some of the utility. We've got a smoke, we've got a flash. We're going to force our way in toward ramp, and they're not going to decide to go around the world, maybe go hell to heaven. They're going to go and stick with Old Faithful. Down toward B. Rotations here are okay for Yawara. You've got Nades single, you've got the Serda in control room. And Cassin's going to force the issue in that position. 2 players to fight into a double door, but surely now they can overwhelm Revolts, and they will. The double doors are burst open, and Luchov will get his pick with the P250. And there should be no way in for Nardez or Telly D here.
Yeah, the problem there for Yawara is that they weren't able to get any kills or inflict any damage once Bestia was scaling down into the B bomb site, right? They weren't able to get any kills initially there towards ramp, not anything on the fallback once Bestia started coming through ramp into the bomb site, and then no kills once they set themselves up in control room or peek from single door. And at that point, Bestia just all over the bomb site. They've closed the gap. They've got boots on the ground. Players are stacked up on top of each other. Trades available the entire time. They just overrun Yawara. Perfect way to start off the second map and try and keep Mirage where it belongs, and that's behind them.
Yeah, they've had a lot of setbacks in their careers, Bestia. I think the major situation goes without saying at this point. So, I think they are pretty good at just switching their brain back on again after a disappointment. You are going for pretty normal full eco here, stacking 3 toward ramp. Would have liked to see actually all 5 of them play some kind of unexpected stack somewhere, but you know, realistically, it's not going to matter too much, is it? They're going to push together now, though. 4 toward ramp. Bomb will go down toward A, but Cassin's got 35 bullets to hold on. How many can he get? Only 1. Fair play. Mac 10 will manage to get a little bit of cash on Nuxie, but it's Thomasin's Galil to do most of the damage. 4 players alive is all good for the Bestia side. I think I'm right in saying, I think Cassin got obviously overwhelmed there, but maybe the off angle was something he didn't need to play in that moment, but it's just me being extra picky. Could have played an angle where he could have fallen back somewhere. Now the first gun round. It's a little bit of a weird opening gun round because, of course, neither team have really built up all the cash in the world yet, only being round 3. So Luchov will stick with the Mac 10. We've got 2 Galils on Thomasin and Timo. And Yawara are forced into 2 for masses as well.
Yeah. I tend to prefer the 4 spy eco in the 3rd, buy in the 4th, so you get all the bells and all the whistles in your first gun round on the CT side, because now they're light on utility. You're going to have to do it with these weaker weapons in some areas as well, and the pharmacists will prevail for a couple kills initially, but Bestia successfully trade their way forward, and then they're able to just lock these remaining players out the bomb site with the smokes that were thrown earlier, so it's going to have to be a retake for the CT side now.
It's a good volley toward heaven as well. We'll hold him at bay for extra time. Cassin, the ankle is spotted, I believe, there by Lacerda. Trying to force him away, but Thomasin's creeping in, might catch him on a timing, and there we go. That's exactly what happens. Zhao tries to force the issue, but when your back is turned to the site itself, being forced to try and clear the CT vent player out, you're always going to be traded. Bestia 3-0 start, and importantly as well, a T-side start, which is looking pretty solid.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, winning the pistol, sure, win the anti-eco, obvious, but then you win the gun round here as well. Really does put a nice touch on their start here for Bestia. Clean 3-0. And they're just going to be maybe in the back of their minds thinking, oh man, had we won a Mirage and we have a strong start here on Nuke, which is sailing off into the sunset of that lower bracket final, but they're going to have to do it by winning here on Nuke and then on Ancients afterwards. That's what's required out of them. Not expecting much from Yawara here in this round. A couple upgraded pistols, but Bestia just seamlessly are able to get control of the safe bomb site, and there shouldn't be much of a problem for them to finish off the job from here.
All Lacerda can do is just try and play whack-a-mole in heaven, seeing how many times he can avoid being whacked. Something actually I've never done. I don't think I've ever played whack-a-mole at a carnival or anything.
Yeah, like an arcade. I think that I have.
Have you been to many carnivals or arcades or anything like that?
I've been to quite a few arcades, yes.
Okay.
It was actually where I went for the first date with my girlfriend. We had like a little drink and then went to play at the arcade. It was just there on the side and we were like, that could be fun.
Nice flex,
that was
man.
cool. That wasn't a flex, but I guess it was one inadvertently. But it's a fun way to get to like hang out with somebody for the first time because it gives you something to do, right? But arcades are fun. It's a nice way to show off as the guy as well. Like, hey, I can throw this ball in that hole there. Look at me doing manly things. Tickets I printed.
I've been. There's a few in London that I've had a quick visit to just for a bit of fun. I think there's one in like Camden. It's quite a nice area. Just a bit of.
I mean, I've never seen one nearly as good as the one we went to in Stockholm, right? When we did the LAN event. That one was goated. Do you remember the name? It's like a sports bar arcade, basically.
Yeah, it was right next to the hotel that we got put in for ESL Challenger. Shout out. Legendary. I miss it already. I say miss it already. I've missed it for like a year and a half now. So there you go.
Been missing it.
I've been missing it. Gun round here for Yawara to try and get off to some form of start on CT. They are trying to spam these smokes as they try and make their way down towards Secret Bestia, and they are able to get through. Not anymore, though, for Noxit. He's been caught by Nardes as that smoke is broken, and Kassin has to walk into it to collect the bomb, by the way, which was definitely a little bit awkward. He looks like he's actually going to take the bomb back toward T-Spawn rather than continue to push down towards Secret. Teledi will stay interested here because there are two players that have forced the play down towards Secret, but I think Yawara do realise that it might not be a committed B play yet.
Helle gets another kill in the meantime. That's a really good frag. Such an important round here for Yawara to try and get things moving on their CT side. And they'll be able to dispatch Thomason as well. Not a huge amount they had to do in that round there besides just winning their gunfights that were offered up as they do open up their accounts.
Yeah, Nardes getting the start was... What was the important one? Because I think that one kill from Nardes actually changed the minds of Bestia in a way. I think they wanted to go just for a bog standard push with all five down towards Secret. But once that kill came through and Kassin had to shift into the smoke to pick up the bomb, you can kind of tell the discussion changed. Okay, I can walk back. We can go for a split A if you want to try and make it more unpredictable. But yeah, I think whatever they called it probably wouldn't have worked out too well. There was all avenues cut off by Yawara. Trying it again with a slightly worse buy on this occasion.
Yeah, courtesy of the kills that Yawara were able to claim in the rounds they were losing. That's nice from from Nardes. Teledi gets a frag as well. Nardes looking like a live wire here in the AWP, and this is against the guns as well. Just holding the line with that sniper rifle, finding kill after kill. It's only Luchov left remaining, surely not for much longer either. Nardes will seal the deal. This is what you get out of him, man.
Yeah, happy to see him play well too, right? Because he's the guy the one guy you want to really see perform. It was mostly Zhao on map 1, but Nardes is the man with the rating, the man we've seen a little bit more of in terms of ability in recent times for the Yawara team. I touched on it in the pre-game, but, I'll mention it again now. It's a full eco coming in here for Bestia, right? Like, I do think it's really important that these sort of games, we keep an eye on what, like, Brazilian AWPer could be next, because Thomas said that's an unfortunate time for a team kill. I'll give him $300 less into the gun round, but it is what it is. Like, we only have NQZ, really. Henny's benched on Red Cannons, and I still think he could really do a job for a decent team in Tier 2 South America. He's kind of got done dirty by Red Cannons, I feel like. And, Fallen's rifling now. You've got, maybe you could argue Safe, but he's now been benched on MIBR. He doesn't really, not really a factor. He was really badly underperforming for a while on MIBR, I think it's fair to say. So these up-and-coming Brazilian AWPers, they need to be kept an eye on. You've got Sanzin on Legacy. It's probably the other one alongside NQZ that I'd
Yeah,
mention.
that one's worth a shot. That's what I was going to say.
But at the same time, look at the options that other Brazilian teams in South America are having to go for. I mean, MIB are picking up a unknown prospect from an academy, from G2 Academy in Cleam, right? Just pretty much a random pickup, it feels like. So we need to see some more, it feels like, overall.
Yeah, I certainly do agree with you, but it's been a bit of a problem. It's been a drought for a long time, right?
Indeed.
In the Brazilian scene in particular, where they've kind of lacked these prominent up-and-coming AWPers.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what that's about, honestly. I mean, they produce ridiculously talented riflers in heaps, but as far as AWPers are concerned, it's certainly more of a commodity, I agree.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that's sort of worked over the years in different countries. Like, Kazakhstan has provided some incredible AWPers that are currently playing in like Tier 1 and Tier 1.5, right? But maybe Brazil, even though it's probably got a bigger Counter-Strike country, I would say, haven't been. And maybe Nardes could be one of those at some point. Alongside Levi, who I was mentioning, got picked up by 9Z recently and actually looked pretty good lately. Important pick on the A-bomb site there for Thomasin. That probably actually calls an end to Yawara going for this one. That was the key kill for Thomasin. Nardes is going to fall away. And saving here is annoying when you've got the amount of money that Yawara have, especially considering it's only 3 rounds in a row and they've built up that much money. It's a really nice buffer of dollar to have, considering it's only those 3 rounds, but saving does make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they just didn't have any sort of position to try and propel themselves in towards the A-bomb site. Does look like Lacerda's maybe going to go hunting a little bit here. He's going to go down. That feels maybe a bit pointless, I guess, looking for those extra kills, try and keep Bestia's economy honest.
Yeah, it's fine.
Having that buffer of so much money. I'm just thinking about the AK more than anything else, but
valid.
They will be able to fully afford the reinvestment. Bestia keep themselves in the lead. Like I said last time these two teams played against each other on Nuke, it was a 7-5 half for Bestia on their T side. Can they match that here once again at the minimum?
Zhao's playing well again, which is a good sign for me. Clearly he's having a hot streak today. See how long you can keep that up for.
Going to be a difficult game in the lower bracket final, right? They play the winner between Red Cannons and Glories, I believe it is. So no matter who you end up against here, between either Bestia or Yawara, it's going to be a tough one either way. Lots of moving parts early on in this next gun round, and they haven't let go of W from spawn all the way through outside, down secret stairs, in towards the B bomb site, and Yawara are yet to even consider a response.
When we planted in the little right-click smoke that Cassin threw to get through double door, and sure, 4v4, and again, all the money in the world, but losing Telly D, has that just made their minds up to fall back and save again? Like,
looks like it.
You've got so much money, but it's understandable, because it's not like there's like 2 rounds left in the half. There's actually quite a lot of the half to go still, so you know, you can still run out of cash. If you had 2 rounds to go, you would almost certainly try and go for this and play more aggressively on the exits, perhaps. Lacerda is doing it again. He's the man that is kind of like taking initiative to go for these kills, or at least try and keep the team money some kind of honest. But you know what, that's pretty good. Zhao will go down, which is annoying. Actually walks back a little bit toward the A bomb site and the B bomb site in combination, obviously. But yeah, probably could have ran away a bit faster, maybe. Just not expecting to die from that far away toward the bomb. But he did manage to get 4 kills, so that's okay. I won't be unhappy with that.
Yeah, they just need to start to win a few more rounds here. I mean, obviously they had that nice little streak of 3, but 3's not going to cut it by, I say that. 2 should never have been able enough to cut it on Mirage, and it was almost more than enough. They won the map in regulation from there. After being down 2-10, guys. Can you even believe Lacerda? Oh, he shows a bit more than just the ankle. Thomasin takes the head. And almost off the back of that 1 round. I was going to say puts the round to bed. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch. Still a chance here.
Yeah, Lacerda is the below par player on Yawara, but we can cut him some slack as such a young player, still learning the ropes at this sort of level, especially against teams that have got 10 times more experience than him. Going to try and recover the round now, Yawara. They are trying to play a little bit more aggressive, pushing in towards secret. LED going for a big wide swing. Oh, he finds 2. That's incredible from that area, but Zhao tries to help out and will get punished for it. Thankfully, Nardes will get his 1. 2v2, all 4 remaining players on full health, and Revolt's pushed toward
big
lobby.
moment.
And this is the
Steps
duel.
heard.
This is the duel.
Almost certain steps were heard there. And if he gets the kill, he drops the bomb carrier as well. Revolts. Oh, doesn't connect. It's a no-scope from Casson. A no-scope at that range is ridiculous. He's not going to waste any time. Immediately gets onto the bomb site to join up with his teammate. That's a huge moment here in the 2v2. I reckon that right there is make or break. I don't think Nades should be able to win this in the 1v2 with this sniper rifle. Talk about lightning quick reflexes. A flash of an eye. A blink of an eye. And he gets that kill on Thomason. Orp versus Orp. Get your gun out. Nades rounds the corner, but Casson is ready.
That's annoying because Nades not only hit that good flick, he also had really good timing. I mean, I don't think you should be expecting the AWP to be all the way around toward lobby when it was last seen pretty recently in Heaven, right? So, yeah, I mean, there's an obvious rotation path, but still. There you go. This is when he gets the kill, and they're on the site, and he's obviously having to rotate all the way around toward lobby. It's a great shot. I agree. I wish you have your gun out a little bit sooner in that situation when you're exposing yourself from Squeaky so soon. Make sure it's drawn in time. I think Cassin would have got the kill either way because he was aware of that shift round towards Squeaky at a good time. So I'm not going to hold too much against Nades, but look, if Cassin can hit a no-scope from where he did, then maybe Nades could have as well.
Doesn't materialize, and if they lose this round, they stare down the barrel of a 9-3 halftime scoreline. Luchov just charges down. Lacerda's had a tough day in the office. BESTIA are going to be getting themselves a foothold in on the speed bomb site. Zhao is ahead of the molly, and Nades is here in support, but it's still going to require a magnificent effort between the two of them. Zhao only good for the single kill. Nades with the AWP up close and personal is able to get a kill back, bring it into a one-man advantage, make that a level playing field now as he continues to churn out these kills.
Don't swing this, Timo. You've got to play off your teammates' contacts. And you've got to keep an eye on single door as well. Nades once again doing God's work, but Thomason does catch Revolts looking the wrong way. Nades can afford to give this one a look. Got 8.7k in the bank, but he might be considering the fact that he needs to drop Lacerda, but he won't be allowed to get away anyway. Thomason will push forward, and BESTIA have forced the issue really well here. I mean, the early nades to break up in those smokes, actually doing damage to Telly D as well, but unfortunately, I'm not going to beat up on him, as I said. Like, I'm happy to give him some slack, but Lacerda is showing a little bit of inexperience at being the ramp anchor. Very tough role to play against a good team in BESTIA, but like, overpeaked a little bit on the jiggle to allow Thomason to get that entry in one of the previous rounds, and there, betwixt in between, not knowing whether to fall all the way back toward B or to stand and fight, not knowing how close Luchov it is. So, yeah, a little bit disappointing. And again.
Yeah, Lacerda's has been completely bullied in this half, and that's what I was saying earlier on, Trav. I'm not expecting a huge performance from him in the series, but I want to see moments, right? You want to at least see that potential. You want to see him having some moments of impact where he does kind of deliver, and you can see, yeah, this is what this player is about. Big kill back from Casson, tips the scales in his team's favor. Once again, Tele D could be in some trouble as well. Timo rounding the corner. This is very early on in the round as well, so I don't imagine this is going to be at all on Tele D's mind. Timo takes his head off his shoulders. It's only Zhao left. Unorthodox position towards the red container. He's actually got the bomb in his control as well right now, by the way. Yeah,
it gives him a glimmer of hope. How many clean duels can he take? There's one. He knows Cassin's coming from secret. With Cassin on 58, one headshot, of course, would be a kill, not just a dink. Timo, likewise. This is very winnable for Zhao. That nade's going to be pretty decent, but only does a bit of chip damage. Now 46 and 45. Now looking to try and isolate the duels, and it's a great job on Cassin. Zhao's looking brilliant here again. He was amazing on map 1 on CT side. He's had a wonderful CT side of Nuke as well. 16 and 6 in that CT of Mirage. 14 and 6 on the CT of Nuke. But will that be enough?
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. Gonna hear my song, just watch me. Every hour.
Courtesy of a ridiculous quad kill from Zhao, there actually is a 4th round extracted from the first half here for Yawara. I mean, I don't imagine that that's ever going to be enough for them though, Trav. I know we said the same thing about Mirage, but that doesn't mean we should never be able to trust strong first halftime score lines again, surely, right? 8-4 going into the CT side now for Bestia. I don't see them dropping the ball from here.
Yeah, I mean, surely. Like, surely is a very strong word, apparently, for us this evening. But still, I'm confident we're seeing a third map. And it'll be very curious as well how that third map will change from the last time these two teams have played on it. The 11-1, 1-11 recovery from Yawara to get it to a 16-14 win to push Bestia into that lower bracket. But yeah, I think we've got a little bit of Nuke to finish first, though. That's what we need to focus on to begin with. Bestia now on that CT side. 3, I can't count because there's lots of guns on my screen. 2 sets of dualies for Thomasin and Timo. Let's see if they work for these two.
Oh my, Thomasin was deadly with the Julies before, and he will be here once again. My goodness, himself and Luchov just completely dominating the Yawara players as they look to set foot into the say bomb site. They get mowed down one by one. It's only Nades left remaining, and he has all 5 of the Bestia players to try and go up against. This one is cooked.
He was dually with the dualies, was he, Matt?
Yeah, man, I don't even know. Couldn't even tell you.
Look, I got something wrong.
You.
You just felt sorry for me. I wanted to make me feel better, so you messed up as well.
That's exactly what happened, Trav.
Right.
I wonder if Bestia are feeling bad as well. Couple kills been fed back here. Nocta could be in some trouble. No, never mind. It's Nades who's in trouble as Bestia take a big step in the direction of finishing off Nuke.
There's a reason why Mr. Thomasin's our player to watch over the course of the series, right? I mean, 18-7. Once again, having a great map. Even in defeat in the previous map, he obviously went a bit quieter on T-side, but that was because everyone went quiet on T-side. It's a normal Thomasin performance so far from probably one of the best Argentinian riflers, maybe the best Argentinian rifler in the entire world.
Yeah, of all time, right? I mean, maybe people would have said Mayan before because of the fact that he had that stint with MIBR.
Yeah.
That's more just out of the fact that he was more well known, but I don't think he was ever as good as Thomasin is now in his prime.
No, I completely agree. Mayan was amazing.
I think you're onto something there, yeah. And it's key that you said rifler, right? Because if we... I mean, maybe... You know what else I could think of is is DGT Uruguayan?
Uruguayan, yeah.
I think he is Uruguayan, right? So
Yeah.
I was thinking Try, but you did say Rifler. That was the key factor there. I'd say Try is the best Argentinian player of all time.
There's a couple of others, right? I mean, Lucan's doing amazing work again on 9Z, but he's not really done it to a consistent level and not been on the same team like Thomason has been on for a consistent amount of time. You've got Rox, who was at the major for 9Z back a couple of years ago. But Buddha was
Still waiting for you to actually give me like a decent answer here, Trav. Come on.
I'm just listing some of them, okay? Leave me alone, Matt.
Rox and Lucan.
Leave me alone.
Lucan.
I'm just listening. I'm not saying they're the best in the best ever. I'm just saying they existed in the world at some point, okay? And still do. Thomason's invent, Telly D will manage to remove him. And Noxe, Team actually is in the main man in position right now. Noxe has managed to get one with that MP9 somehow and immediately switch to the A1S. Luchov should be caught in the open, but he's not. Zhao, I mean, I bet he felt like he would have had the drop on him there, but not to be. And Lacerdo's had a rough game. Is about to get even rougher with 3 players to find in a 1v3.
Yeah, well, watching this, all I can say is thank God Yawara won on Mirage, because otherwise we'd be 2 rounds away from calling it a day. And honestly, I'd actually be disappointed. Like, this is the lower bracket semi. I'm glad that we're at least going to get a 3rd map out of this, especially with how fast the 2nd map has been. You and I were talking about in a bit of break between halves, right? It feels like this map has gone by rapidly so far. I guess it's a testament to how fast-paced the rounds were out of Bestia on their T side. Not like Yawara slowed down that pace at all.
Just thinking about Argentinian players, right? I do think Try. Like, I wonder now, with even though they are improving for sure, but maybe his career getting slightly held back by Imperial somewhat. He's unbelievable. I'm still convinced he's got a very, very long career ahead of him. You forget that he's only 20. It feels like he's been around forever. So it's because he kind of has been on professional teams since he was 15. So
that's insane that he's actually only 20, and that's what kind of gives me hope that even if he's not at the heights he could be at right now, that he will still reach them one day.
Yeah, fair enough. I do agree with that.
Who's the one Argentinian GOAT that we haven't spoken about? I actually can't remember his name. He was like the first real Argentinian player to come on the scene internationally and start to get some credence.
I know.
Talking back like
I know there's one
5, 6, 7 years ago. Come on, we can
Argentinian CS players, Liquipedia.
Okay, we're gonna go that route. I really want to try and remember. Come on. He was. I
mean, mine is the one where his prime was like 5, 6.
I've got it. I've got it. Good old-fashioned Johnny Boy.
Oh, I remember him. Yeah.
Good old-fashioned Johnny Boy. Come on, that's the one, right?
AWP mostly. I don't remember, honestly.
I don't think so. I think he was a rifler.
Fair enough. I like that though.
It's 12-4, by the way.
I know.
I can't believe it. It's 12-4. I am actually shocked that we're already at map point for Bestia. Nades will draw first blood though, and actually they've got full control of the safe bomb site. Plant is being committed to right now, and looks like Trav's Law is in full effect.
Let's see if Revolts can prove me right. Noxe will try and deny that though. Nades will go down. Teledi good trade, however, but Luchov is a snake in the grass toward lobby. Not expected to be a second player on that rotation round. Cassin pretty low on this retake from Heaven. He'll drop down, make noise on the drop down. Revolts will now know this, and Luchov is getting it caught. Oh, he's not. Cassin's found Revolts and now gets a chance to activate the trade, and he has activated the trade. Cassin sacrifices himself for the cause there, and it gives Luchov the trade kill to win out Nuke and win it out very comfortably as well. Bestia, that is how they should look in this series.
And what a perfect response with the way that Mirage completely disintegrated for Bestia as well after being up 10-2, losing the map in regulation. Yes, you heard me correctly. They then come into Nuke, and I was a bit concerned about what their emotional and mental state would be like coming into the second map, especially in such an important game as well. But you got to give them credit, the fact that they were able to successfully reset between the disaster on Mirage and what they've just done here on Nuke. They're going to be in a much better place going into Ancient, and now it's going to be on Yawara to prove to us that they can also reset. They've done it before, right? This is the exact same way that the previous series went down in terms of results on the maps. It was Mirage, first map won by Yawara, Nuke, second map won by Bestia. So it's following the exact same path as we head into that third and final map, Trav.
Indeed. And as you touched on earlier, Red Cannons and Glorias are playing in that other lower bracket semi-final at the moment. Red Cannons took map 1, but Glorias are up 7-3 in map 2, so that also has a chance of maybe be heading all 3 maps. I think a Bestia Red Cannons match would definitely be super entertaining. I hope that's what we
Tasty.
get. But we'll have to see if Bestia can get this win under their belt here on Ancient. And we'll be seeing Ancient in a few minutes' time.
I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my I'll keep up till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. Till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account or blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
BESTIA do exactly what is needed of them. They forget the choke of Mirage and bounce back on Nuke with a comfortable win. Now, can they channel what worked well for them last time on Ancient against Yawara and fix what went wrong, which was a crazy comeback from their opponents to win it 16-14 last time around? Surely nothing like that again.
Well, I mean, I wonder how influential the knife round is going to be, because obviously, as you've already referenced, both teams only won one round on their T side the last time these two teams went up against each other on Ancient. So whoever starts on the T side here is going to feel like they're on the back foot. And if it is Yawara off the back of what just happened on Nuke, then it's certainly going to be a challenging affair for them. They're not going to want to have to rely on a massive 11-10 round kind of comeback on their CT side to win the map. They're going to want to do a better job on the T side this time round.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure it maybe in the back of their minds. It'll definitely be, I think, in the minds of Yawara, because they'll know for map 1, sure, Nuke's T-side was solid for BESTIA, but we know Yawara barely play that map, so they can kind of forgive themselves for getting caught pretty badly on Nuke. But map 1's T-side for BESTIA was awful, and Yawara will be hugely encouraged of knowing what's gone before and what's seemingly happening again today. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not so sure. I still can't bring myself to pick Yawara to win this game. I still have to pick BESTIA, but still, I'm encouraged by what I've seen from Yawara over the course of the series today here.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there was that shock factor of them making the crazy comeback on Mirage to win the map in regulation. I would just be completely blown away if that happened twice in one series against BESTIA. It's almost like they've used their joker up their sleeve, and it means that they're going to have to win here on Ancient authentically. It's not like I don't think that BESTIA are going to fall apart again like that when they've already had that moment in the series, and they've been able to come back from that again. So if you're Yawara, you're never going to be able to rely on that again, at least as far as I'm concerned. Just never really got going on Nuke at all, did they, Trav? There was that one little 3-round streak in the first half where maybe they gave us something to think about and chew on a little bit, but they won one round from there, if I'm not mistaken, lost the map 13-4. So not really anything to build on from Nuke, but Ancient could be a completely new opportunity for them. It's a map that historically they do have more reps on than Nuke, not a huge amount. 7 times in the past 3 months they played the map. They beat Magicos and BESTIA most recently, lost to Keystars, lost to Shinden as well. So just doesn't really paint them in the best light coming into this all-important game.
No, I mean, it is valid. And yeah, I think the one thing that will be a thin silver lining for them, and one thing they can be happy about, is that Zhao still had big impact on map 2, even in a significant defeat, right? I mean, it was a 4-round first half, and he was 14-6 with a crazy clutch at the end to get that 4th round.
Yeah,
right? So
true.
And we were kind of touching on how Zhao isn't necessarily that player too often. He is usually a sort of middle ground rifler. So yeah, I think for him to still be having a great series is a good sign. And we know Ancient to be pretty brawly these days, right? Like if they're willing to get down and dirty, go for these fast
be similar to Mirage in that regard, yeah.
A and B, you know how fast you can get onto the site as the T side. So if they can descend the game into madness, maybe they will thrive in that environment a little bit more.
They certainly did in Mirage. There was a lot of chaotic rounds there, especially in the second half where they were just clashing into each other in middle, and more often than not, Yawara would almost walk away unscathed, which was ridiculous. Like you say, kind of thriving amongst that chaos. Zhao in particular got 16 kills in that second half of Mirage, and that was without even getting a kill. I think in the last 2 rounds, Nades was able to start to contribute in a bigger way, Teledi as well. Going to need the whole team here, that's for sure. We don't have the whole team of BESTIA. I believe that they're just having some tech issues before we can get things going here on Ancient. Don't believe it'll be too long, though. Should be able to move things along fairly shortly. Get an update on that other game there, Trav. Of course, like you mentioned, Glories against Red Cannons currently going on in the other side of the lower bracket. Winner of that plays winner of this. And currently, it is 10-9 for Glories, but they've lost most of these rounds in the second half. They were up 9-3 at one point. So apparently T-sides of Mirage just incredibly troublesome for the South American teams today.
Apparently. Considering you got that page open, I'm going to ask you a question while we're waiting for this game, this final map to get underway. I think I know your answer, but if you were to look at the roster list we had for this Cup number 2 in South America for ESL Challenger League Season 50, who would you have picked immediately as your winner?
Fluxo.
Fair enough, honestly. Like, a lot of people would probably say...
MIBR would be the easier answer. Yeah, I know, exactly.
I like Fluxo, though. I like them too, man. I'm convinced that a team with Lucauzi and Ascenci on it, and Zevi, who I mentioned in, like, lack of Brazilian AWPers, he's still, like, putting decent numbers up, and I think is relevant enough to be in the conversation. But, yeah, like...
Certainly.
At the moment, they're not getting the results I think that roster deserves, so we'll see.
I think if you took those two teams alongside each other, Fluxo and MIBR, and if you got all players at their ceiling, I actually think Fluxo beats MIBR at the moment. Obviously, Insani would be the best player on the server by some distance, but I think outside of him, like you highlight, Zevi, Lucauzi, even Decenty as well, I think that Fluxo would give MIBR a really tough run for their money. That would be a cool final.
Yeah, and I think Desenchi, I mean, I've loved him for a while. I was actually quite sad to see Imperial move on from him. Maybe Imperial are actually on decent form right now since they made those changes that they have. But still, I'm a fan of his, and I think that duo is too dangerous. I think Lucauzi has dropped off form a little bit, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, we will see.
That's the problem. That's the problem with Fluxos, and that's why I said if you got all 5 players at their ceiling on both teams, which you just don't get with Fluxo. It's either like Decenty popping off, but then Lucauzi not showing up, or it's Zevi and then Decent. It's just like you never seem to get the entire team on board at the same time, and I think if they could actually find that stability across the board, they'd become a really dangerous team. They could get that same sort of level we get out of Imperial and Pain, I'm convinced.
Yeah, fair enough. And don't forget, of course, I mean, Sharks were one of our favourites in a previous days gone by ESL Challenger League season, and they just won a CCT. So they're definitely in the conversation as well. But we are underway on this third map to decide. Nada's unable to control the long-range dualies. Fair enough. That is not too easy to deal with. But Lacerda has found Thomason in mid. He was pretty low, tagged up. He'll finish the job. And Noxe is also, likewise, relatively low. So Yawara will start this CT pistol in a 3v2.
Such an important kill coming through from Lacerda there to drop the mid player. Allows Yawara to remain committed in on the speed bomb side with 2 players confidently. However, it's now only Zhao. He's had his bell rung as well. Cassin's going to close the gap. He uses that little gap in the wall to get the kill on Zhao, and it reduces it just to Lacerda. His steps would have been heard. Not sure if there's a kit on the ground yet for him to scoop up. Just give him a bit more time to work with. Will chip down Nocte even further. Seems to have a really good read on the situation, does Lacerda. Oh, he's just never going to stick a 10-second defuse, is he? I mean, this is a very ballsy option from him. That almost looked like someone waving the white flag. I don't know about that option, mate. I don't know.
I mean, I think they would have had a glimmer of an idea that Noxe was pretty low. So I would have liked to see him fake it for the first one and then try and play a bit more of those crazy mind games against the final player. But yeah, you're just never holding that in a month of Sundays, are you? So first round, BESTIA.
Not an easy pistol round by any stretch either. There was quite a lot of adversity they had to overcome there, but they make it look relatively easy at the end of it all. Going to be just USPs here for Yawara, thrusting towards middle of the back of a flash, and actually 2 kills coming through for them. That's a decent return considering they've just invested a measly little $200 into the round. They'll certainly take that.
Yeah, good for Lacerda as well. And look what it's done. It's allowed an AWP to be dropped over for Nades. Definitely some impact with that. I mean, let's have a quick look actually, see if we see it tick over. Lacerda had 3,100 at the end. That put him on 5,500. So actually, you know, without those 2 kills, that's $300 a piece, right? It's made the difference. It's got the Nades AWP out.
Okay, well, let's see if there's going to be a knock-on effect with the sniper being put to use here in this round as well. Nocte boosted above the smoke. Oh, no. How has he not gotten that kill on Tele D? Should have been a frag every day of the week, but doesn't actually come to fruition. At least they've gotten a kill on Revolts elsewhere. And a lot of space afforded into towards middle as a result. They forced the CTs back, so Bestia have good control here.
Noxie's got the full belt of util that's kind of been in the process of being swapped in between all the 5 players on Bestia. I think he's going to hang back and throw all of it before he goes in for the entries, but honestly, might not need to do any of that because Timo and Thomason have been gifted the opening 2. Yawara went searching. Don't blame them, but they were in a man disadvantage to go looking for the response and go looking for some aggression. That's why I mentioned I wanted to see from them, getting in the faces of Bestia a little bit, but the Bestia rifling core were ready on that occasion.
Well, let's remember, Trav, the last time these two teams played against each other on Ancient, it was 11-1 halves going both ways, both teams racking up those rounds on the CT side. Bestia have already managed 3 on their T side compared to just the 1 on their previous outing, so certainly far better out the gates coming through from them, which will also just settle those nerves, right? Make sure that the demons don't kind of creep in from that last performance.
Don't want any of those demons, dude. No one likes those.
Unless you're sleeping and they're just chilling, keeping you company when you wake up in the middle of the night. They're there in the corner of your room, just watching over you, making sure you're safe.
I feel like that wouldn't settle anyone down, but there we are. Maybe only you, Matt. Maybe you're.
I'm such a goofball. I'm so quirky.
Maybe you're certifiably insane enough to make that settle you down, but who knows?
Who knows, man? Who knows? You just got to befriend them, really, Trav.
Okay. Now, my sleep demon will be you. Now I'm going to be imagining you,
just me in the corner there,
doing like yoga or something.
Yeah. Drinking my raw milk, telling you about the holistic life. Oh, what a scary experience. All right, here we go. Yawara actually did carry 2 weapons over from the previous round. It's enough to motivate them for them to go for the full investment here. Plug the gaps with a FAMAS MP9 and another M4. Chance to answer back. Yet to get off the mark here.
About to go for the fights, and Thomason always forcing the issue. Thankfully, Telly D is able to switch around, and he was very low HP. But Luchov, even though I'm sure that would have been called that he was low, that's why he went in so aggressively for it, gets destroyed. Telly D with a great hold. And Revolts knows what's going on with this push in through A long, holds off Cassin and holds off Noxe. Well done to Yawara. That's a critical opening CT gun round, and it was off the back of some unlikely 1 duels.
Yeah, great sequence of kills coming through from them, just locking down middle. That's a statement coming through from them as well, showing that Bestia aren't going to be able to just get mid-control for free. I can't believe Tele D on that swivel. How did he drop off the ledge and get ready for that fight coming through from outside of Jag so damn quickly? That was really good work out of him. And Yawara are on the board. More than enough money for Bestia to afford the reinvestment.
I do think that one issue with that round is that I don't think that's necessarily replicable for Telly D to be able to do that again. But it's already a good play. I mean, look, Lacerda, bless him, right? He is the inexperienced player on the team. He's the youngest. And he's been put in all these, like, absolutely awful roles. Like, he was a round player on Nuke. He's been forced to be the A long jiggler on Ancient. Pretty much getting the short straw, and he's done pretty well in this round, to be fair to him. Like 1 kill, getting his 1 for 1, bringing the utility down was fine. And there's a good chance they can get this retake in action. Noxe tries to play that very close headshot angle, but he goes down. Will it matter? Maybe not when Luchov is delivering, and Thomason catches Nades trying to force the issue. Oh, that's a lovely spray down from Luchov.
Yeah, well, you've already highlighted the prowess of the rifling core here on Bestia. That round's Thomason and Luchov in its entirety. They get all 5 kills between them, man. This is how it started. It was looking really good there for Yawara, even on the retake as well, with all the util being barreled on in. But Luchov with the lineup, oh my goodness, an incredible couple kills coming through from him to steal that round away from Yawara. Got a bit of a technical pause here. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe a glass of water was knocked over in some frustration there from the Yawara team.
Don't get me started.
My bottle has a lid these days, Trav. You'd be happy to know.
I'm so proud of you.
We've gone a good couple of weeks, mate. A really good couple of weeks without knocking over a coffee or a water. Don't think it would be fair to say month, though. It has happened more recently.
For me, I can say
Ever.
Decade, at least.
Yeah. Really important round for Bestia to win back there, just to also make sure that Yawara don't start to build themselves into this game. They want to keep them at square one right now. It's certainly been a theme and a hallmark of Bestia's approach on their T side, just unilaterally, right, between Mirage, Nuke, and here on Ancient, where they're just looking to play on the front foot every single round. At least way more often than not.
Yeah. Bit of a... Or maybe it'd be a bit unfair to say a slower walk, but they are looking to shift their way up A-long and then put pressure, and it seems like they've once again identified that weakness. The Serda can't hold on with the MP9, the flashes are too good, and to be fair, I think any player would probably struggle to hold on toward A there, with that utility and that entry prowess that you mentioned of Luchov.
Like you've highlighted, Lacerda is only 17 years old. This is his first professional team, and he's been thrust into some of the most difficult roles. I mean, normally when you get a youngster on your team, you've got him just for that raw mechanical firepower. You're not bringing him in to be that kind of experienced guy who's going to be taking up the roles that you normally want to play like 1,000 times over before you feel like you even start to get a real kind of grasp of that role. I don't know any 17-year-old that comes into the Counter-Strike space that says, yeah, I want to be the B anchor on Mirage. I want to play ramp on Nuke. I want to, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, it's not something people get excited by. So, I mean, think about Lacerda when he's 19 or 20. He already have a lot of experience behind him in those roles. So, certainly going to be filling a niche as we see quite a lot of blood spilled at the end of the round there. Bestia denying quite a few of these weapons being carried over. Certainly makes their life easier in this next round.
I will give a little shout out to Zhao there, because he was maybe one tick of the round from going down. He's able to collect the AWP in front of him the split second before the end of the round. You just see it there. He survives in the corner and manages to E the AWP and keeps it for Nades. Gives him a threat to work with in this one. But it looks like Bestia, look at this. I mean, just running it back. They've at least put Nades here. I do like that, but he needs to at least get a multi. There is 2, but the flashes are too good, and Bestia just say, look, whoever you are, our aggressive A takes, you are not getting more than 2 kills ever, and we can put ourselves in a very strong position.
Yeah, they just continue to play very aggressive Counter-Strike right now, just charging at their opponents. Retake's certainly going to be attempted here by Yawara. Kassan cuts down one, and the threats on the flank has been put on notice as well. So at least they haven't been caught off by that flank. But the problem is the flash completely blinds them. Oh, wait, it's only Kassan left remaining. It's only Kassan left here. He's going to go back to try and deal with this player in A main.
Ugh.
Is the defuse being stuck? Surely it is. Surely it is. It is indeed. Kassan has to try and deny the diffuser, but he's not going to be able to rattle off a shot. And that diffuse will come through in time. Yawara have just won the half by.
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, annoying for Noxe that he whiffs that one on the flank, because that's what actually collapses the round for Bestia in the end. I think Kassan will be annoyed as well. He's not able to finish him off, even though he was pretty low HP. If he gets a little bit quicker, he has more time then to play the 1v2. And in the end, that saved AWP that Zhao managed to grab with pretty much a 1/10 of a second left in that save in the previous round, dropping it over to Nades. That is what kind of sets up the round for Yawara. So all those fine margins do pay off.
Yeah, that needs to be the round that kickstarts Yawara's campaign here, though, on the CT side, because this is where they won almost all of their rounds the last time they played against Bestia on Ancient. So they definitely going to have to find a way to, I mean, win the half at the minimum. I don't think that that's too much to ask, at least based on what we've seen recently. Does feel like that round should have been Bestia's, and you are right to highlight the fact that Noxe couldn't get that kill on the flanker because of the amount of pressure that then gets put on the players on the A side. They didn't have any position they could rely on the post plant, really, because even the guys towards A main were now getting crunched in on, so it was super uncomfortable for Bestia.
Yeah, that was the way it all began to crumble, like the walls of Ancient around them. I can confirm that Red Cannons have completed the win against Glorious from quite a big deficit, I think, on map 2 as well. They've actually won it 13-10 in the end to complete it in 2-0 fashion. Winner of this, we're watching right now, will play Red Cannons in that lower final. And if it's a Bestia Red Cannons matchup, that is definitely one to lick our lips for. I think we have a little more issues than perhaps we were expecting for Bestia's ping. So while they get that figured out, we'll go to a short break, and when we're back, we'll try and finish off this series. And BESTIA put that previous round out of their minds. Some issues sorted out, which apparently were to do with their ping. Maybe that contributed to that loss to the Pistols in the previous. But does give Yawara a little bit of a mini lifeline here on CT. BESTIA's money is on the edge of being broken.
Yeah, Yawara yet to win consecutive rounds here on Ancients, and if it doesn't happen here, then it does feel like the game starts to get away from them quite quickly. Oh my, player in the corner, turns away from the team flash that comes through, and that's going to enable TeleD to double down, adds a third to the tally as well. Fantastic work from him.
Yeah, I said before that when I've watched him play previously, I was not too impressed at all. But he's had a very just plain solid game so far today. Timo will manage to deal with revolts, but the Serda's there for the quick trade. Noxe is 1v3, having to stand in a molly to go for a duel, and yeah. Didn't get the success from going for that swing at all. So, without the bomb, this one is chalked for Noxe. Yeah,
TeleD has been impressive so far in the series, I'll say. He's had some good moments for his team. Revolt's had some good moments on Mirage as well. Nardes has probably actually been a bit quieter by the standards that I've used to kind of getting out of him in the past. Maybe hasn't been required as much because everyone kind of struggled on Mirage and Nuke was a breezy affair. But here on Ancients, I reckon he's going to have to be a prevalent or a pertinent component of the team if they are going to win here. And that means no more shots like that, Nardes.
Thankfully for him, it means nothing. By the way, in case any of you guys are hearing that little sound cue at the beginning of every single round, or the end of every single round, it's
round draw.
It's the round, not the round draw as such, but it's the death sound of a player whenever the new round starts. That's because
the coach?
Yeah, that's because in the ESL Challenger League we have like beta coach slots available, and obviously they're technically in the game and they need to, yeah, pretty much die at the beginning of every single round. Obviously you can't have 6v6, so that's what that sound is. Zhao's gonna hold the line brilliantly with the pistol rush coming over toward B. A bit of a, I'm not gonna say lazy pistol rush, because what really else do you have to do here? Can Noxe get the bomb plant? Oh, he can as well. That's hilarious. That's absolutely maximum of what you could hope for. Fair play. It does. The goal of the round is actually complete.
Yeah, the little concern for BESTIA is that their hot streak has now been completely brought back to earth. Got off to a really good start here on Ancient, but now Yawara draw within one. We have a gun round to follow. And that half-round win for Yawara seems to have been what's really gotten them going here on Ancient. It's exactly what you were saying. BESTIA need to try and make sure it doesn't happen, right? That's now transpired. Can they move the needle again now that Yawara have been able to get going? We had a hyper-competitive first map and a blowout in the second. What does Ancients have in store for us? Certainly the most competitive first half so far, that's for sure. Oh, TeleD. I'm quite surprised he doesn't actually come away with the kill there, you know. Looks like Zhao wants to try and finish it off, and he's also come close. Thomason's taken a lot of damage, but the first bit of fatal damage inflicted is actually going to be onto Revolt. TeleD looking to try and lock it down over on that B-bomb side. He's only good for a single kill. Whoa, knocked there. What on earth is that? Looked like he was going to go for the wall bang. He turns and burns on Zhao. And surely that's the round sealed and dealed.
Yeah, they're too far away to even consider it, despite the fact they've got full util and defuse kits. I actually would have liked to see them go for it if they were closer, but the fact they're so far away is never going to be committed to. And you've got so much to save as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of trapped. The Incendiary is certainly not making matters any easier for them. They're just going to have to try and run over the AWP, and Nardes, who's just being fed at this point, doesn't know how low the second player is, so he commits to the AWP battle. And even though Thomason will die to the bomb explosion, at least he's forced that CT side to reinvest into the AWP. I really hope we get to see this Noxe frag again. That was ridiculous. Look at this. Bang! Oh, man. Zhao thought he had that kill every day of the week.
Thankfully, the money was okay in Yawara to still be able to reinvest into another AWP, despite the good work from Thomasin to jiggle peek him out and get that frag. But BESTIA, I think, will be pretty content with how this half is going. 6 on T is pretty respectable after what has gone before, and actually it's looking like we're running it back from what we saw earlier, but with only one player kind of separate from the others. Before it was like a full 4-5-man play toward the A-bomb site, and the setter should have no clue whatsoever.
No idea.
It's so dangerous, but why would you expect Timo all the way in? But already planted
It's the
on A
T-side
as
smoke
well.
as well. It's the T-side smoke that they've thrown to try and fake as though they're going to be taking mid control, at least contesting middle. And BESTIA have either just immediately contested middle, or they've thrown the util and then gone over into the A-bomb side. Again, it's going to be an attempted save from BESTIA, but, excuse me, from Yawara, but BESTIA have let the hounds loose here. They're hunting for these frags. Yawara looking to try and reposition. And Kassan is going to go down. Luchov will keep them locked in for now, though. All damage super valuable at this point. Nocta was worried that maybe someone had slipped the net and there could be a defuse that was being stuck. Not the case. 2 guns carried over for Yawara, but BESTIA get another point on the board. I just love how much they've actually employed that option of pushing into the A-bomb site so quickly in this half.
Yeah, I mean, that's, what, the 4th time now? And it's worked every single time. It's not...
Yeah.
I think that's the first one with, like, real obvious variation, too. With that sort of single man, like the smoke in mid, as you say, and then a single man push all the way through from Timo. It forced a rotation round to have to try and help in red room, and then the swing all the way through from Timo, all the way into Donut. Poor old Lacerda.
That's the reason that he caught
Lacerda.
Lacerda completely off guard, right? Because he was there so damn early that the T side mid, the mid smoke that was thrown to just try and sell the fake was still in place when he had arrived in Donut. And then it's so smart for him to hug that opposite wall, because Lacerda still was kind of creeping back in, but he was so deep at that point. So we don't have the Nuke stats yet on HLTV, hasn't refreshed for whatever reason, but Kassan certainly did have a tough time on Mirage. He went 8 for 18. I think he's 3 for 8 now on Ancient. He had some moments on on Nuke, but it's not like he was the chief destroyer on that map. So he certainly has had a difficult day in the office, has Mr. Kassan. Uncharacteristically so. He's the one who's having the tech issues now as well.
Yeah, he's the one who just timed out, unfortunately. I don't know. I think I was very much not enthused by the direction BESTIA took. I don't think Kassan's a bad player by any stretch of the imagination, but it's like the results were so poor after the roster changes they did make. I was kind of thinking they were going to languish in even lower than Tier 2 South America, but pretty much the rest of their lives on the team. And eventually, in time, Thomasin would leave. That, who knows, that could still happen. But their results have definitely taken a bit of a significant upturn recently. The only, like, really important game they have lost recently was that CCT final against Sharks, and Sharks, you know, kind of beat them 2-0. Very, very close second map. So Sharks aren't a bad team. I can forgive them for making a mistake, making an error in one of those recent BO3s. Every other significant Tier 2 South America opponent, your likes of your Fluxo, your Red Canids, they've been able to get one over on. So I think the Noxa rifle in-game leading arc isn't terrible. I think it's acceptable. I can deal with it right now.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think that this is still the best iteration of a BESTIA roster that we've had so far with Kassan and Timo in the books. Obviously, they've had some other really good players, but guys that weren't able to consistently make it at the level that BESTIA were looking to compete at. So I do think some changes were necessary. And this is the team I would stick on for now. I wouldn't be considering changes for the interim, that's for sure.
I think Kassan is still having some issues getting back into the server. So apologies for these delays, guys. We are, of course, at the mercy of the issues of some of the players, so there's not really much we can do. But what we can do is once again throw to a short break, and when we're back, hopefully Ancient will be ready again. We're back, and hopefully back for good. Bestia 7-4 in the lead. Final round of the first half coming in, and it looks like they're willing to continue the pacey style that has worked so well. 4 of their 7 rounds have come with these pacier plays over toward A and middle, but this time Noxe will be stopped by Zhao.
Oh, okay, there's a battle on ramp as well, and Timo maybe sold Luchov a little bit there by not committing to the swing. Look at Thomason, though. He's the guy who phased through that red room smoke in towards the top of middle, and he will cut down Lacerda. And with that, cuts the map down the middle. It's only Nades between Bestia and that A-bomb site now.
Annoying miss as well for Nades. He's about to get pinched upon from the site itself as well, so he's going to have to stand and fight. He's doing a great job at that. There's Nades. Bomb dropped in donut with him, and revolts will help out toward Thomason, so they will grab 5. And of course, we only just come back, but it is half time, so there is a customary break. We will be finishing Ancient in a short amount of time.
This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. Feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh.
Still a tight battle between Yawara and Bestia. 7-5 for the favourites to try and stay alive in this particular cup in South America, ESL Challenger League. They want to win this one to get revenge from that upper bracket matchup. It's much needed.
The concern is that Bestia got 7 rounds on their T side where they only managed a single round on their T side the last time these two teams played against each other on Ancient. So that equation certainly does read really nicely for them to finish off the job from here and progress through to that lower bracket final against Red Canids. See if they can make it happen. Certainly going to have to be without Noxa here in the pistol. He's just been demolished.
LED with, again, a very important, impactful kill. Luchov playing long, though, I was going to say. Like, you have to just fully gamble as no one going to be coming late long at that moment, and it doesn't work out for him. Thomasin, though, it's the first tap. Bomb is down for Yawara. So it should make this impossible for only a singular Thomasin left. He's not sure where they're all residing either. It's double donut and one long. It's pretty much unwinnable, even if he had a defuse kit. Nice tap on revolts. But he's going to find two more, and they can double peek from donut. Still thinking there's one that was playing in CT or in Temple. At this point, he's looking to try and save his Kevlar. So, nice try, but Yawara will keep this one tight.
Yeah, they've done exactly as was required, right? Coming into this the second half here. Picking up the pistol, certainly a good way for them to get things going as they draw within one. I see what you mean about the sound of somebody dying just as we go live around it. It's actually thrown me off a few times where it makes me think we're going into a tech pause, because that's normally what you hear just before when someone's disconnected, right? And then my brain just goes, oh, tech pause. But that's not what's happening right now. Thankfully, hopefully we've left them behind us. And we can get through this game unscathed from here. Force buy from BESTIA.
This is a pretty all around the houses force buy as well. 2 MP9s. Oh, taking so much damage to the Molotov. Fair play to actually get one from that, but it's going to spread. And Luchov will not survive. Free M4 upgrade for Nardez as well. I understand why BESTIA wanted to make that play, but as soon as that molly came in, they were honestly screwed.
I mean, Timo made two mistakes. The first one was that he hitched on the wall and he couldn't round the corner with the commitment there to actually try and follow through with the aggressive play. The second mistake is he tries to fall back while Luchov is going forward. Nice kill from Kassin. Shouldn't be much more outside of that, though. And then Luchov is still committing forward. They just end up bundling on top of each other in the flames. They both take a huge amount of damage to the fire. Very easy for Yawara to kind of figure out what's going on there. And it means that they're going to level up the scoreline without much of a problem here. 7-all, Trav, and it's going to have to be an eco for BESTIA to follow.
Oh, and no M4 kept over either. Zhao keeping up his form over the course of the series. It's mostly been his CT halves. A 16-6 CT to deal with that comeback on Mirage. Good work from Nardez there. Worthy of note. And then a 14-6 CT half in vain on Nuke. Playing well again here. Now on T side. You can tell that everyone on Yawara is chipping in as well.
Certainly looking like a pretty well-rounded performance for Yawara, more so than for BESTIA. Revolt's the one guy who's had a bit of a quieter time here on Ancient, gets 2 kills in the anti-eco. Not bad for BESTIA, they get 2 kills of their own there to make sure that they at least force a couple reinvestments coming into this next round. But Yawara have got a lead, and I'm pretty sure that's the first time they've had a lead since Mirage.
You might be right, you know. Rushing through the smoke toward lane, taking control of it straight away to get the early boost for Nardez. And Nardez has got a chance to get this opening. Okay, doesn't pull the trigger, doesn't reveal the AWP on that box just yet. Willing to wait for the smoke fade.
This is a really important round for BESTIA. Genuinely, if they lose this gun round here, I reckon that they'd certainly start to get quite concerned about their campaign at large. What's the plan for Yawara? What have they got cooking after getting middle control? Trying to keep BESTIA guessing.
Oh, there was the chance. There are 3 players over toward this B defense. And it should allow him to hold on, especially if Luchov continues to show up like this. Oh, he's found one more. Fair play, Luchov. Triple kill. Instead of trying his best, though. If he can get the trade on Thomason, there's a glimmer of hope. But no, Thomason will hold firm. 2 important kills. 8-all.
And like you say, having that extra man on the B bomb site there certainly does bode well for Bestia to get the round across the line. It did make a difference to ensure that they traded favorably. Yawara running into a bit of a brick wall there. Maybe could have tried to pressure towards Red Room or Donut a bit more before they commit B there to not really allow Bestia to keep 3 players so comfortably over on that B bomb site. At least they can afford the full reinvestment here. Scoreline leveled up. Oh, and this one, I thought they were just going to go directly into the B bomb site. They're still setting up for a big burst into B. Timo's also on the front foot right now around the corner. A couple with their back turned. He's only going to manage the 1 kill though.
Oh, smoke spam from Luchov almost finds 1. Oh, these M1Ss just aren't connecting right now. Finally, the M4 gets 1 from Thomason, and they've seen another player in the corner. Do they know it's a different player? They should now, because Thomason has fallen back into a jag and made noise doing so. Noxie's still completely stuck in the corner behind the boxes, but the bank's utility he's throwing is doing a really great job, and he's almost got the final 2 kills. Nadej down to 19 HP. Thomason tagged to 56 from his work earlier on. Should have the advantage in this 1v1, and we're 1 map all, we're 8 rounds all. This is a huge 1v1.
Yeah, I love the way that Thomason's played this though, because I'm almost certain Yawara were able to figure out that there were 2 players in towards Cave, and Thomason was on his horse. He's just immediately looked to try and reposition himself, and he's not overcommitting either. Even if he means that gives up the bomb plant, he doesn't want to step into any trap that's being sprung here by Nades. In the meantime, as the round ticks on, does Nades consider maybe going in towards the A bomb side? Is he just sweeping the backlines before he commits B? No. He is going to go A, and he's going to run as well. Oh, Thomason has gifted this one on a silver platter. Honestly, I don't really know about that from Nades. I don't think he wouldn't have made it if he had just walked a bit more. That felt unnecessary to commit to the run like that.
The thing is, like, even if he does walk, he will probably start to run when he gets closer to the site. He did start to run early, but I didn't think he'd start to run maybe a few seconds after, and then, obviously, Thomason will be able to...
Same thing probably would have happened, right?
Exactly.
That was really scrappy, though. That was a really messy affair there over on the B bomb site. Bestia do well to come out on top.
And I got to give huge credit to Noxe, right? I mean, he's stuck in cave behind the box, banks incendiary to stop an opponent from pushing in and trying to trade Thomason, banks a flash, swings off that flash, gets 1 kill, almost gets both. That gives Thomason a pretty free 1v1 after he obviously made a decision to go round on the rotation and played it well, chose well. But, yeah, pretty big brawl. And it's put Yawara down to only Glocks.
And that means a really good opportunity for Bestia to extend their lead and build on their economy, which is incredibly frail right now. So keeping numbers alive, actually very important. That was a super juicy grenade to open up. Did a hell of a lot of damage onto the Yawara boys. A bit of spam damage to follow. And that's enough to dissuade them from middle altogether.
This is about to be a bloodbath.
Can they get a kill or a bomb plant?
Not now. Not now the riflers have appeared into a donut. Oh, the kill on Cassin could work. He's got help. It's all good. Smartly doesn't reface when it doesn't matter or is necessary. 10-8 for Bestia, creeping toward this finish line now. 3 rounds away from that lower bracket final against Red Canids. Be a bit of a blockbuster matchup, that one, for Tier 2 South America, especially for what's on the line. A chance to play in that regional South America Cup final.
Oh, I'm back. Okay, we're good. Everything froze, Trav. It all froze. Thankfully, I'm back actually in time to catch the action. This is a pacey round coming through from Yawara, but BESTIA matching that pace as well, looking to play on the front foot here, taking that ground away from the T side, taking names in the process. They've managed a 4 versus 2. Revolts and Lacerda to try and pick up the pieces, but the pieces are scattered everywhere.
Forced to just go for a play as a duo out mid. Utility is in an okay state to make a choice, but Luchov, just very smart, right? Not actually peeking it properly, just jump spotting it only. Kessen's missed an important shot, but it's baiting in Noxe, and the MP9 will get himself the 1. That's more than enough. Lacerda with a crazy transfer onto Luchov to get a second headshot there. Fair play to him, but Kassin was there to reface. 11-8. This early brawl, running through a smoke there for Niles and Telly D. Definitely was not going to work out in their favour.
All right, well, this is a big moment now where BESTIA are running away with this, Trav. They've won 3 rounds in a row. They've dominated the gun rounds as well, right? Because Yawara won the pistol. Sure, they converted after that as well against the Force and the anti-eco. But they're still unchallenged in the gun round department at that point, untested. And once they do get tested, round in and round out, they haven't been able to find a way to get across the line. That's the real concern here. The disparity between these two teams in the gun rounds. Nice shot there from Nades, and a dink on the drive-by onto Nocte. Remember, although this is an eco, it's a max round loss bonus eco, so they've got upgraded pistols and armor.
They need to break up in that smoke. Revolts, if he found that kill, that would have given them an opportunity, but they're swarming, and Thomasin will get himself 2 more headshots. 23 and 11 for him. Zhao's been amazing in this series, but even though Luchov... Oh, okay, hang on. Hang on. Noxie, 26 HP. Bomb not planted, though. It's not like he's got a bomb and a timer to play around, and Caston will smartly come all the way behind and toward Temple. Okay, there was, again, a nice attempt in what was an unwinnable situation, but BESTIA will find 12. Very close now.
On the brink, right? Absolutely on the brink now for BESTIA. They're going to have a number of opportunities to try and seal the deal from here and effect their revenge on Yawara. This is where it matters the most. Then book themselves a date with Red Cannons I don't know when that game actually is. Let me not lie to everybody watching, but the lower bracket final currently reads Red Cannons v probably BESTIA. Let's see if they can finish it off.
Oh, Zhao, need more of that to get these 4 rounds in a row that Yawara need. He's definitely gone up in my estimation as Zhao in this series. I thought he was just kind of a mid.
Yeah, his stock had elevated, right?
And now I'm kind of proud of him in a way. He's exceeded my expectations.
I'm on board as well, man. He has been the best player for Yawara by far and wide so far, and the job's not done yet. And in the most important round here, we're on the brink of losing, that's where he's delivered another multi-kill. 19 for 13, tie for Nades, or tie with Nades for the top of the scoreboard. Yawara will live to fight for another day. Yeah, how much do they have left in them? And look at the finance of a BESTIA. They're going to have to eco here, Trav.
Have we had Trav's Law on every map but Nuke? Or was Nuke Trav's Law as well? I forget.
No, we definitely did have one map that wasn't Trav's Law.
Okay.
It would have been Nuke. They were deniers of your gospel.
I was going to say, I think I remembered it. So, there we go. But yeah, I mean...
We've got it again now.
We have. Half-life for BESTIA, as you say, glimmer of hope for Yawara. Just avoiding these sort of buys can always be tough, though. They're so blind. The flashes are so good. And the game could be ending here. Nardus is going for a bit of a lazy look in toward lane, and it costs him his life, and it's all falling apart. All you need are those MP9s and 5.7s. Lacerda's had a good game. Fair play to him. Hitting some very tasty shots, but now last alive, and Kassim will finish it off. BESTIA, the favourites going into this BO3, do get the revenge over Yawara in ESL Challenger League South America and will go through to that lower bracket final.
Yeah, this is the one that mattered the most, like I've been saying throughout the broadcast. Great work from Yawara to get to this point. I think that's worth mentioning as well, Trav, here in the second cup in South America. But BESTIA are on a mission right now. They want to win this cup here to book themselves a spot in the Season 50 finals for South America. At least we got a game, man. We certainly did. It looked like at one point it might have been a blowout, right? BESTIA got 10-2 in the first half. They then dominated Nuke, so imagine they had finished off Mirage in similar sort of fashion. Yawara at least do make this one pretty damn competitive.
Yeah, I think one thing as well that I actually neglected to mention that was in my notes from the very beginning of the series, which I think is important to mention now, BESTIA did win Cup number 1 in ESL Challenger League South America. So they actually already do have the Season 50 South America Finals slot. So whoever plays them in the final will get the slot instead. I believe that's how it works.
And they're just farming VRS points at this point as well, though.
Exactly. So it's not like this doesn't matter for them. It's still incredibly important to get all the VRS points in the world. And in this heavily congested scene of so many tournaments to play. So yeah, it's definitely critical. Not just incidentally, 9Z finished second in that first cup. If BESTIA were to win this cup, whoever came second, I believe, if I do know the rules correctly, should take that spot in the regional final. So we'll see. It's BESTIA versus Red Cannons in that lower bracket final. The upper final is going to be MIBR versus 2 game. Definitely a bit of a one-sided look maybe that series has.
Yeah, I mean, MIBR might stand a bit of a chance, Trav. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, they are the strong favourites, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, we still don't know how it's going to pan out. We've seen MIBR obviously having to play with not their full roster at the moment. They've been trying to play with Klim, the Russian AWPer from G2 Academy. They've got Kickert in play as well, trying to take a leaf out of Furia's book, just in a slightly different way. But yeah, I think they're having to play with a stand-in, and we'll have to see if that changes their fortunes. But same deserves to be mentioned for Red Cannons too. They've had changes, and they're still having to play with TGE, right, their coach. So that might favour BESTIA to continue this lower bracket run. Who knows?
Yeah, it certainly should, man. I'm thinking at this point they've got a pretty damn good chance of making the run all the way to the grand final and maybe even racking up another one of these cups under their belt, like you say. Sure, they've got that spot already, but that's not going to dissuade them from committing all in. It's one thing I do love about these cups, Trav. I mean, I know we're on the brink of ending the broadcast, but obviously when we had the really long drawn-out seasons that didn't really bode super well or gel with the VRS system, now with these rapid cups, these quickfire cups where you can get invites determined on more recent rankings, I think bodes a lot better. So I'm a big fan, and it was cool to be here.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. We have a lot of experience with South America in ESL Challenger League, and I enjoy it every single time. One more game to come this evening, but not covered by us. We'll be taking a nice bit of sleep now. North America is to come. I believe it's Wildcard versus Ether to come, so a good chance to catch up with how Wildcard are getting on with some of their new players. And for now, from us two at least, it is good night.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.